So many things to think about. Yeah. So cool.
This is all just my
Very
effort
uncharted
to
territory.
justify killing off all your characters so we can start a campaign again at level 1, which is much easier to plan for. I love that half laughter. Very can.
What a funny joke, John.
All laughter for today's campaign has to be the Maka.
Thinking about my level 1 character as chance would have it, a noble warlock. I'm really starting to construct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys could also use a
Let me know,
ranger as is a
Yeah.
parent.
Oh, God.
But like with a fetish for collecting the hands of his enemies.
Hands.
I like
Very
it.
original. I'm gonna come back as a bard.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It might be the most powerful class too when used
For
correctly.
real. The flexibility that you can just grab spells from any spell book. Those
Yeah.
a couple arcane knowledge things, and the insane amount of proficiency that you have
Yeah.
is wild.
Bards are pretty dangerous if used correctly. And they kind of remind me of Artificer, where if you play it right, it is very potent. If you play it wrong, it is kind of a mess.
I, as always, will plan to be somewhere in the middle.
Well, I mean, then there's always classes like Barbarian or Fighter, where it's pretty straightforward and hard to fuck up. But
We've
you
had
guys,
monks. Have we had fighters?
last campaign, Laurel's
Yeah.
character was a
Yeah,
fighter.
Laurel, what's yours? Yeah.
Which
But she
fighter
was an archer.
a killer class. Yeah.
I'm technically a fighter.
Oh yeah, Damon's
Oh, yeah,
level
Damon's
2
a
levels of
fighter.
fighter.
Oh,
He's
sick.
got action surge.
Yeah, are you gonna go a 3rd level of fighter next level up, or are you gonna go to level 7 wizard?
I mean, I've been thinking level 7 was the 4th level spell slots, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a pretty big deal.
yeah.
When do you get superiority dice? Isn't that level 3 for
Yeah.
fighter?
If you pick that
Ooh.
subclass, there are a bunch of subclasses you can do them.
Some hard choices.
Yeah.
Maybe Damon will die and I just won't even have to think about it.
Yeah, hopefully we can just make the choices real easy. Okay, so speaking of you guys dying, let's segue into the campaign.
Another flawless transition.
So
Without the awkward laugh.
yeah, so let's do a little bit of review. You guys are on. I guess I don't know what day you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 6.5 days, maybe, on your campaign. Laurel, do you have an official number for me?
I could calculate it for you.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't super matter for my purposes. It's just the milk that you brought is now spoiled. That's all that means.
You just got lots of cheese.
There you go. A block of cheese could save your life. Anyways, so you have been traveling for a while now. You've traveled from Silvery Moon to Zymorven Hall on boat, to Rivermoot on boat, and then set off on horseback with the guidance of Mel, promptly got lost, and finally made your way into the South Lurkwood, where you rescued a very young woman from barbarian captivity and fled the South Lurkwood with great speed and great success, avoiding a lot of encounters, and making your way to the North Lurkwood and proceeding through there with few flaws, dropping off Mel and Hannah at the Lurkwood Elven Enclave before heading north to the Valley of Kedrun, where you encountered a rock which very hungrily attacked all of your horses, and with the exception of Terran's horse and I guess DeMarcus's magical horse, took on and took out all of your supplies and your mounts, which left you with only 2 horses on the north side of the Mirar River in the Valley of Kedrun, where you guys decided to camp out for a day to recover from your sprint through the Lurkwood. But upon making camp, you guys set out to forage the nearby area and drew the attention of a local orc patrol, which presented itself to your camp and unleashed hell upon your company. And you guys were able to hold them off, but suffered a few major blows, including DeMarcus being knocked unconscious. And I don't know if anybody else got knocked unconscious. I think that might be it. But now you guys are in the, I believe, second half of that rest day, and you are sort of recovering and healing yourselves. And yeah, I guess I can just throw it to you guys. What do you do for the afternoon/evening spent in this camp?
I will set to work repairing Damon's leg. I believe we left that task unfinished.
That makes sense.
Marcus is resting and praying. He has done a find steed spell, and he's kind of like reconnecting with his steed.
So Vosner is going to do a short rest and heal a bit, because he's pretty rough. And I think Izzy would probably try to find a spot where she can kind of see the outline of the spine and just kind of meditate and look at the mountains a bit.
Okay. I am throwing you guys to your camp map. For some reason it's loading slowly.
Taryn will also take a short rest and heal a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just assuming all of you are getting in a short rest after that battle. Everybody can feel free to apply the effects of a short rest. No problem there. Fun fact, I recently learned that you only recover half of your hit die on a long rest. So if you blow all of your hit die on your short rest during the day, the following day you only have half of your total amount. So that could come into effect here, so maybe, use them more sparingly. But, yeah, just a fun note.
Yeah, I also just found that out. Because when I did it, I knew that I wasn't getting my full hit dice back a couple times ago when we were doing a long rest, and I was like, what is all that about? And then I just happened across it, I think, in the DM guiders.
Yeah, no, I learned it yesterday while playing in a campaign, and I was like, we rested, but I didn't get my hit die back, and then I was like, oh shit. That's just the rules, which is one of the reasons why it's awesome playing in this system, because it actually holds me accountable for things.
Also,
So it is
the
formula when we click long rest will do hit die correctly.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
It is the second half of the 5th day since we headed out from Rivermoot.
Wow, you guys are flying.
Yeah, that is from Rivermoot, not from Silvery Moon. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that adds up for me then. I was saying about 7.5 days.
Yeah.
So, Damon is being repaired by Missile. I'm gonna have... You know what? I'm just gonna just say Missile can do it. I'm not gonna even bother making him do a check. This is right up his alley, and you guys have all day to do it. And it's really just mimicking the effects of getting rid of a point of exhaustion. So, Taryn, what are you doing this afternoon?
After the short rest he takes, I'm not 100%. He'd probably just kind of like um, mill around the camp, make himself useful if someone needs him, but otherwise just be minding his own business.
Okay. What is Joe Hoff doing?
Yeah, so Joe Hoff spent a short rest kind of bandaging himself up a little bit. And then he walks over to the fire to try to get a little bit warm. While he's there, he's going to look over to Missile and say, Oi, Missile, you got any writing supplies, paper, ink, whatnot, in that bag of holding of yours?
Writing.
Yeah.
Missile will ruffle around in his bag of holding, and once again, it sounds like a giant warehouse full of nuts, bolts, and glass just kind of being shuffled around very loudly. And he'll pull out a couple pieces of paper and a little pencil and hand it to you. Say, this should do the trick.
Right, thanks for that. And then Joe Hoff is going to sort of hunker down by the fire and like try to smooth the paper out on his thigh and try to write on it with a little pencil.
Okay. DeMarcus, what are you doing?
Yeah, DeMarcus, I mean, I've got a level of exhaustion, and I'd be probably pretty tired out, so I'm probably just kind of like tending to my wounds by the fire and spending time sort of reconnecting with my horse. If anything, I'm probably reading my book maybe, but I'm probably pretty quiet, just kind of resting.
Got it. Vosner is not here. Isolde, what are you doing? Oh, sorry. No, Taryn.
If Isolde's looking over the spine of the world, like she said she was earlier, Taryn would probably go and check on her at some point.
Okay.
But that can be before or after what Laurel wants to do.
Sure. Well, we'll cut to Isolde, and if Taryn shows up, he shows up. What is Isolde doing?
Yeah, so she's praying to her god and trying to find some guidance there, and writing a bit in her journal, and just looking at the mountains, reflecting.
Okay. Well, if Taryn shows up at that moment, I guess you guys could chat.
So Taryn will kind of come up, sit next to her, and just ask if everything's alright, because she's kind of pulled herself separate from the group.
Oh, yeah, everything's alright. I just wanted some, I don't know, time to reflect. There seems to be a lot going on all the time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're alright, by the way. That was quite the ambush.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised we made it through as well as we did.
Well, we're pretty strong. And everyone played their part well. Are you alright? Mentally, I mean.
I suppose so. A little shaken up by the giant rock that hit me, but
Yeah.
other than that,
But you look good. Like, I don't know, like you belong here.
yeah, I feel like I do. I've never been this far north, but it feels good to be here.
But I'm glad. I don't think everyone in our party feels that way, but I think we will all get used to it. It is quite nice up here.
Yeah. And if we're successful, we may be able to come here whenever we like.
That is true. About our conversation earlier, if you could maybe keep it between us.
Yeah, of course.
Just the stuff about the Blood Witch's effect on me and questions about that.
Yeah. Yeah, no one
Appreciate it.
else needs to know.
Thank you, Darren.
I don't think anybody noticed, so.
Good. It is better that way. Do you mind when people ask you questions about Jacoba?
A little. It's frustrating because there's never anything to say. And
Fair.
it feels a little smothering, to be honest. Like, after you skin your knee when you're a kid and your mother's asking you 1,000 questions about it.
Well, it is concern coming from a good place, but I understand. I'm not a fan of questions either.
Yeah. No offense is taken by them, so.
Good. And likewise, I will have to talk to you all about some things eventually, so. Truth can be good.
I'm sure that none of them can be so bad that they'll change anyone's opinions of you.
How does that sound?
Oh, my dog has kennel cough, so
Oh,
yeah.
Poor Jules.
She's losing it right now. I'll mute real quick.
Yeah. In the distance, you hear the sound. It was really hard for Stan and I to coordinate this, by the way.
So we're rolling initiative, that's why I'm here.
Yep.
Those are some stellar special effects.
It's the scariest wolf you've ever seen. Okay. Is that everybody for camp? Damon, you're being worked on. Is there anything in particular you'd like to do?
I would think Damon would just be like going through his spell book as he's being done and like seeing if there's changes he could make to be more useful in this new environment.
Gotcha. Does that have any, anything you want to share with me, or is it just narrative and perhaps like just changing your prepared spells?
I think just for narrative purposes. But
Sure. Okay. So the evening is relatively uneventful. It's a calm, kind of slightly snowy day, and it's cold, and it feels like it kind of gets colder every day. Kind of in the night it hits a certain point, and then in the morning it doesn't lift much, and every night it gets a little bit colder, and each day it lifts a little bit less. And you basically can all see your breath constantly, and moments when you're not by the fire are a little bit less pleasant now. And you are very grateful for the fine winter clothes that you purchased that seem to be keeping you warm. Aside from, I guess, Taryn, who just naturally feels in his element here, able to just withstand the cold. Let's see. So the evening, one notable thing. Vosner and Isolde, the two of you sort of have different foundations for why you know this, but Isolde, you can feel it in the air that the weather is about to turn, and it's about to get more intense. Vosner can feel it in nature, but Isolde can feel it as somebody who's just intuited the weather of the north her entire life. And so, while she can't necessarily explain why, she has a feeling that things are about to get cold and windy and snowy.
Nice. I think Vosner would probably tell the group that the storm is coming. And if Izzy overheard that, she would agree and say we should make sure to try to keep close to the fire and be alert. Don't want to end up getting snowed in anywhere. A difficult passage.
Do we have enough firewood to get us through the evening?
I suppose we could go try to gather some more.
I suppose.
Better safe than sorry.
I suppose whoever wants to gather firewood, make a survival check for me.
I'll have Vosner do that.
Okay. You want me to pull it up on him, or you got it?
I have him.
Yeah, Vosner's able to secure some firewood and bring it back and load it up next to the fire so that you guys have an entire evening's worth of and night's worth of wood to keep you warm.
Nice.
And
Do we have to do our second half of the day checks, or did we already do those?
I was just letting those slide effectively because
Nice.
you guys already did your checks once today, and anyways, I'm just gonna spare you guys the details, and we'll move straight to the night watch. And so I will throw you back to the North Faerun map. Yeah, you lose the exhaustion from the full days of rest in the morning.
So we still have it for these checks.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Maybe you lose it after the 2 day, like the 2 parts of the day rest. So I'm gonna say you guys have gotten rid of that exhaustion point for the purposes of your checks tonight. So everybody goes down 1 exhaustion point.
I probably maintain mine though, right? Because I wasn't working exhaustion off on the first rest.
I'm gonna say DeMarcus also works off his.
Okay.
I mean, you essentially rested and then fought a hard fight, but then rested for like another 8 hours. So.
Was lounging pretty hard on the first rest.
Yeah. Some serious loungage. Okay, so let's start planning things. For Night Watch, do you guys want to keep similar orders, or how do you want to do it? Who's on first watch?
I'm happy to stay on there. If somebody else wants it, I don't mind moving or coming off entirely, but I have no problem with staying in the first watch.
I guess it's up to Isolda. Isolda, do you want to stay on first watch with Johoff, or would you like to take a different watch?
I'll stay on first watch.
Okay. Taryn and Bosner, is that still fine?
Yeah, that works for me. Unless someone wants to replace me.
It's up to you guys. I have no benefits or detractions from perception checks. So if anybody's more perceptive,
Maybe I'll replace DeMarcus then.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm a +0 as well. But if I'm being aided by Vosner, I'll get his.
we'll just put it like that. And then the owl. Okay, is that work for people? Essentially, Damon's on every shift.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have Johoff roll perception. Okay. That is... So, If you guys want to RP out something, you are welcome to. But your call.
Marcus would say to Joe Hoff, sorry about Beer Wagon.
Oh, yeah, well. It's a horse, to be sure. I like that horse. Never actually really been much of a horse guy before this trip, so, it was like kind of a new thing for me, but, I think Beer Wagon will want me to move on, so, we'll see. I'm ready to get hurt again, if you know what I mean.
I do. Well, for what it means, or whatever you make of this, I know you're not a particularly spiritual person, but my friend here has told me that Beer Wagon was quite a noble soul, and that she believes that Beer Wagon is probably hauling gallons and buckets of beer around in the happy hunting grounds where all the beasts go when they die.
Yeah, well, whether I believe it or not, it's nice to hear and think about, So, I appreciate that. That's a hell of a horse you've got there, though. What's the deal with that guy?
The Celestial, do you know what they are?
Oh, I mean, vaguely, I have some idea what celestial means. I had no idea that it extended to beasts of burden.
Many paladins are, as you could say, connected or attuned to having celestials help them as long as they're aligned with the gods. The gods give us this ability to work with celestials to accomplish good on the world.
Didn't you, I have to admit I'm a bit hazy on the details. I think I might have been, I don't know, not with you when some of the explanation happened. But didn't you switch your allegiance or something when all that shit went down back home?
Did.
So does that mean you had to get a different horse?
No, the horse remained. To be honest, Joe Hoff, I don't really know which gods are using me as their instrument at this moment. Here, I pray a lot, I meditate a lot, I'm doing a lot of thinking, but I don't hear anything. It's just me, celestial friend, and you guys.
Well, look, as you already said, I'm not the most spiritual person. Near as I can tell, gods give fuck all what we do here on Earth, for the most part. I've seen enough shit in my life that I've wondered why the gods have not intervened, and I've come to the conclusion that either they doesn't care, or they just isn't as powerful as they want us to believe. But, all that shit aside, you should know that when we part ways and people ask me about you, I would never stoop to saying, oh, he was the acolyte or the follower of this god or that god. To me, you're just a good man, and that's all that really matters.
Thank you, Joe. You remind me of many, many men that I have served with before. The best of men.
That's a laugh. I've never thought myself as a military man, but fair enough.
You think that people in the military are all high and mighty and nobles? They're not. Many of them are just like you. I've seen men who come from all corners of life, from fields and forests, mountains, from the sea, even to the sewers and the criminal syndicates of these around Faerun. And to be honest with you, it's all the regular men, not the nobles, who do all the fighting and who are more honorable than the rest. The things that I've seen people like you do inspire me.
Yeah, well, careful you don't turn too many pages of the book of my life, or you might discover there's less to be inspired by.
I think that's true of all of us. You lived through the spell plague, didn't you?
Yeah, well, uh, I was young, but yeah, I'll live through it.
I know a lot about it. I was a bit too young. I was only on the back end of it, but what I know, everyone who lived through the spell plague had to do what they needed to do to survive.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's probably true. Well, I wish I could say they ended there, you know. At the end of the spell plague, I was able to pull my life back and be respectable. But, you know, some hurts go too fucking deep, I suppose.
That may be, but you're respectable enough to me, Joe Hoff, and I'm happy to call you my friend.
Yeah, it's mutual. Well, got to admit, I don't know if I would have come along if it hadn't been for the likes of you. I think real highly of Isolde. I think she's fantastic, and doesn't really know the other ones that well. But we've had some good times, and I think very highly of you. So I was glad to come along, even if it's just to offer a little bit my, you know, salt of the earth wisdom now and then.
Indeed, the group needs it. Hopefully someday we'll get to a town where you and I can go drinking and find, well, some exciting sights.
Yeah, I could use a couple more drinks. Well, I didn't realize that this traveling the world would have so little booze involved.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Joe Hoff. I think we were a bit dishonest about that just to get you to come along.
Well, it's not entirely your fault. I mean, we also doesn't have any food, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't in the plans either.
No, adventuring rarely goes according. But it makes arrival at the city, safety, accomplishing your mission all the more worth it.
Yeah, just, I'm not asking for you to, you know, reveal some great secrets, but this seems like an awful lot of trouble to go to for just some little antique thing.
Oh. People who control the antiques control enormous amounts of power across all of Faerun.
And, once we get it, who controls that?
Give it to Marin and he'll control it, and the consortium of wizards that he works with.
Joe's gonna kind of look around just to make sure everyone else is sleeping, and then be like, honestly, between you and me, Marin, is he, you know, is he good?
Truly believe so. He's a little bit inscrutable to me, but I do trust him, and I consider myself entirely loyal to him based on everything that I've seen. Do this, Joe Hoff. You're rightly skeptical of nobility. You're rightly skeptical of power. At the end of the day, you do have to pick who to trust. Marin is by far more worth trusting than many, many other people that these artifacts could fall into the possession of. That much is for sure.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably true. I can think of some folks that I will be terrified they had it. I'm just, you know, not sure how much powerful artifacts should just be going to the lesser of two evils.
Well, the problem is that the greater of the two evils are also looking for it, and it's not even remotely clear that Marin should be lumped into the category of evil at all. I haven't seen any evidence of it. Contrary, actually.
He's human, ain't he?
Honestly, I think so, but I don't quite know the ways of wizards.
Yeah, well, if he's any race, human, dwarf, elf, anything that I've ever met, there's a little bit of evil in there, for sure.
Perhaps you're right. All we can do is try to keep each other on the right path.
Any, any chance of just, going along and destroying the artifacts?
I can't rule out that possibility. I don't think I can make that choice myself, and I don't think anyone in this group would be able to. There is a possibility that when you try to destroy an enormously powerful artifact like that, that you could put it in a not too traumatic way. Do something akin to a spell plague.
Yeah, well, I'm in out of my depth, that's for sure. I don't understand anything about that. There's more than one mystery out here that's come to my attention as we've been traveling that I doesn't understand anything about. I suppose it's not a bad thing. I imagine the more you know, the more burdens come with it. So, some ignorance, maybe a little bit of bliss. Not as much bliss as, whiskey, but it's coming.
Perhaps. I found a lot of mystery up here too, but in general it's just silence. It lets me think. Lets me calm down, I suppose, for the first moment in maybe my whole life. What mystery are you referring to?
Oh, nothing major, just, I doesn't really understand magics that much, and we went to a city where, everybody was fucking magic. I had no idea that there were birds as big as that one that ate beer wagon. I saw for a second, somebody maim her own arm and then set off some kind of explosion of blood that nearly killed us. I saw a giant fucking spider that nearly ate me. The mysteries go on and on. Oh, I think you can appreciate that.
Yeah, I certainly can. And I think that there probably will be more of those kinds of mysteries before we get out of this trip off.
Yeah, well, so long as you and I and Isolde, the rest of you, has a good bottle of whiskey to end and maybe someplace that's more fucking warm than this campsite, I'm here for it,
Well, then our objective should be getting to a town where we can restock our whiskey supplies.
That's the first good objective I've really heard since we started out on this trip.
Well, let's just try not to die.
That's the second good objective I've heard.
And we're on the same page.
Okay.
Yeah,
The sorry. So the night goes
Oh, no, I'm good.
well, and Damon's owl circles kind of lazily above, and the snow begins to kind of fall harder and harder as the night continues and the temperature keeps dropping. And you guys find yourself, sitting kind of closer and closer to the fire as the night goes on and the watch continues. But nothing attacks you in the night. In fact, it's actually pretty tranquil. The impending, doom of starvation and freezing to death not being there. It would be a pretty lovely situation. And Vosner and Terran take over for watch. I'm guessing Vosner's still not here?
Yeah, he's not here, but I'll roll for him.
Okay. So I guess Terran, unless you just wanted to abstractly say things that you would tell Vosner, we can just move.
Yeah, we can just move.
So your evening watch is nice as well. The moon comes out at one point, and it kind of seems to lighten up your camp and reflect off the snow nicely, and you truly feel at peace. Terran, not growing up in a place up north with a great deal of snow, in a weird way, you feel more at home now than you've ever felt, even in your own, with your own people. And Vosner seems at peace as well, but maybe not because of the cold, maybe instead because the light of the moon seems to give him some energy. And you guys have a non-eventful watch, and Isolde takes over. And Isolde, your watch is by yourself, and honestly, it's not too eventful. Nothing comes. You don't hear beasts. Nothing like that, unless you want to have a conversation with Damon.
Damon would, like, if he can tell that everybody else is asleep, he would get up to talk to Isolde.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Because he would have to tell her, Captain, I observed something in Missel's behavior last night at camp.
What do you mean in his behavior?
He sat down at the fire and spoke into it, as though he were communicating with something, some entity. He spoke of us as being more an escort rather than a party of which he is a part. I believe he has plans that may not align with ours on reaching Luskin. He mentioned some plans in Luskin.
That is very strange. I mean, he does speak to himself sometimes, but you think it was different?
It is difficult to say, although it did seem much more targeted. And his armor, that breastplate that smokes, it reacted as though there was something in there with which he was communicating.
I appreciate you telling me that, Damon.
Of course, Captain. I do not wish to cause undue alarm, but if others in the party were to find out, it may do just that.
Well, I will try to approach it gently, maybe, or see what I can find out, but you were right to tell me, and I appreciate that. I trust your observations a great deal.
Thank you, Captain. I have nothing else of which to inform you. I will let you get back to it.
All right. I'm glad you're feeling better. You look better with your foot fixed.
Whatever else he may have planned, he is certainly skilled with his engineering.
Very true. All right.
And with that, Isolde's watch is relatively uneventful. The temperature continues to drop, and the snow continues to pick up pace. And Isolde, you intuit from your, time spent in the north that this is not going to stop, and that there is at least more snow on the way, if not a blizzard imminent. And all you can do is sit at the fire and keep watch and plan out what you're going to do for the next day.
When I go to wake up Missile, I would probably say a few things to him.
Go for it.
Master Missile, it is your turn to watch.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry.
You frightened me, Master Isolde.
I'm sorry. Were you sleeping heavily?
Oh, yes. You see, these past few days were very exhausting, and well, I believe I just was in a very deep sleep, and you frightened me out of it. But this is fine. I assume it is time for my watch.
Yes. I was wondering, though, if you were feeling all right. I noticed you had a bit of a cough yesterday.
Well, I believe it's this cold weather. It doesn't sit well with me. I'm used to the warm, dry air of libraries, and here it is cold and wet, and I'm having a difficult time adjusting.
She would, maybe like a medicine check or something, like just see if he's under the weather. She wouldn't insight check him or anything.
Yeah, you can roll a medicine. I'm going to say with a medicine check, what you see is dark bags under Missile's eyes, and the way he's holding himself, he looks tired. Not like I just woke up tired, but like exhausted. And he looks a little skinnier than when you first met him. But as far as you can tell, these are all things that kind of come to happen being out on the road, being away from big, heavy meals and living off just the rations that you provide to the group. So it's hard to discern anything specific.
I don't mean any offense, but you do look a bit run down. Are you feeling all right?
No, I suppose I feel a bit run down. I do very much look forward to getting to Mirabar and, of course, beyond that to Luskin, and to be around civilized societies with books and warm beverages again.
Yes, I feel the same way. Well, be careful on your shift. The storm is picking up, and I think we will really have to get moving in the morning to avoid being snowed in.
So it goes in the north.
Very true. Good night, Master Missile.
Good night, Master Isolde.
She'll go lay down.
Are you going back to sleep or just lay down?
Oh, I'm going back to sleep.
Okay.
Get that
So
long
Missile,
rest.
roll perception.
Oh boy. I see all.
Oh my God.
Why do we have you on a watch? Oh, it's so funny. Okay. You're a gift. Missile, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, let me see how I do this. Just 1 second. I'm probably gonna call on Flash of Genius here if I can.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let me check something.
Bam. Bam. So that should bring her up to a 16?
Yeah, let me check something.
Your intelligence modifier is a 7?
Yes, it is.
Jesus Christ.
He's a smart man, this Missile.
He's a genius.
We should have picked somebody else to play such a character.
Sorry, I forgot to have this up. Yeah. So, despite your genius, it, well, I'll modify your character sheet. But you do feel a little bit weaker.
Got it.
And you actually, at one point in the night, have a coughing fit. And I'm going to want you to roll some sort of stealth check for me to see if you can keep your coughing down and not wake up the group.
Okay.
Do you want me to put my dog on the line so we can get like a good RP of the cough?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we did it this way.
So there were a number of factors that influence my stealth rolls, but I think they balance out to just an ordinary roll, so I'm going to do just an ordinary roll.
So, do you Flash of Genius then, or no?
It was a skill check, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm going to Flash of Genius it, and I'm going to, like, take snowballs and shove them into my mouth to kind of, like, muffle it.
Sure. So, I guess I don't know...
It's going to be 13 now.
Okay. I gotta find your, everybody's passive perception. Okay, Isolde and Vosner, you in the middle of the night hear, Missile coughing during his shift. And it's not enough to throw off your sleep, but you do wake up a couple times. to hear him coughing. Do you do anything about it?
I think after the first time or two, Izzy would probably get up and go see if he's okay.
I'd say it happened like one time there was a bad coughing fit. So maybe.
No, she wouldn't get up then.
Okay. And so we'll just assume Vosner makes the same call. And so on Missile's shift, he coughs a little, some things happen, and Missile, is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, so just if you happened to look outside of your tent, you would see Missile very, very close to the fire, and in the light of the fire, you might be able to notice that he's taken his smoldering breastplate off and has set it like a foot beside him, so he's not wearing it, but it's close to him, and he's using his heat metal spell to kind of like get his smoldering breastplate extra hot, so he's got like this little radiator of heat beside him while he sits between it and the fire.
Yeah, very good.
I'm actually going to consume a spell slot for that for authenticity's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to target something, but I'll take it off.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was going to say that the person on the last shift has to make a saving throw for the cold, but I'm just going to give it to you because I think that's a genius way of dealing with it. So you guys wake up in the morning, having not been attacked in the middle of the night. You already had that exhaustion point removed from the previous day. This doesn't give you any more exhaustion points off. Now you are starting your, I guess, 8th day. And the question is, are you traveling? Are you staying put? Are you going at different speeds? What are you doing?
Isolde would recommend that we try to move quickly. To hopefully not get caught in the snow.
Okay.
Damon with the repaired leg would agree with that assessment.
And DeMarcus would walk up to Missile and he would say, Master Missile, I suggest that you ride my steed.
Oh, gladly, DeMarcus. You've no idea the burden you've unloaded for me with that favor.
So I'm not trying to like sneak around anything, but would the Celestial have any issues with Missile getting on it?
Absolutely not.
I would just pick him up and toss him up there.
Oh! He would be like startled when you grab him. He wouldn't be expecting it.
Love it.
DeMarcus isn't really paying attention to that.
Put this thing on the horse.
Yeah, he's used to like kind of like manhandling you a lot.
Okay.
There's a mystery here that we're not getting.
Alright. So, you are going to try to travel at a fast pace? Is that correct? 15
Yes.
miles? Okay. So, yeah, I guess, fill out your roles. Who is going to take care of the animal? There's actually only one animal needing handling at this point. Is Missile still going to care for Terran's horse?
Yeah, and if I need to, I can improv a way to rein it in. So we'll try for it.
Okay. And then I guess Vosner and Isolde are the only other two people with survival and scout abilities.
Yep.
So, I guess, barring any other objections, we can just get to the traveling.
Now, I'm not proficient in animal handling, but I thought you had to be proficient in...
You do, but the way we were handling it was that you can, as a genius, basically sort of be pseudo proficient as long as you consume one of your flash of geniuses every time you make a check. So once per or twice per day, basically.
Got it.
So that's how we're handling it. You're using up a resource to fill a hole in the group's ability.
That's how we're animal handling it. Yeah.
Nice,
Got it.
nice. All right, so Isolde, roll a scout check.
Okay.
All right.
18.
1 second. Travel DCs. Okay. Valley of Kedron. Okay. So, okay. Let's have Vosner roll a survival check. Okay. And then let's have Missile roll an animal handling check. Okay. So plus.
And then am I still stealth, John?
Yeah. Yes, and you are still stealth. Actually, shoot. Now it's actually Missile rolling stealth with disadvantage.
Oh.
Dang. Okay. Would the Cloak of Elvenkind help offset that?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Alright, so we'll just do regular. And
Yeah.
you know what? Since I got him, like, his brain's on overdrive today. We're gonna bump
Yeah.
that up to 17.
Yeah. So just keep track of how many you're burning through, and
Yeah,
then okay. So your animal handling check ended up being a what? A 9?
A 9.
Okay. So you come up with some ingenious ways of taking care of the horses, and yet while you're traveling, you notice that that Terran's horse is looking a little bit run down, a little bit sick. Maybe you're not feeding it enough, or maybe you're not giving enough water. You're not entirely sure. This is not something that you're used to interacting with, but whatever it is, the animal seems to be struggling a little bit. You are moving at a walking pace right now, or at least an on-foot pace, even though you're moving quickly, because you do not have enough horses to pull everybody's stuff, or to mount for everybody, just for the record. So, you guys move 15 miles. And you break for lunch. Laurel, did you get rid of the rations from yesterday, or like reduce or whatever?
I haven't taken it out yet, but we are at, we're starting the morning with 15, and when we consume the day's rations, we will be at 6.
Okay. So start the day, you'll be at 6. Okay. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, and it's just a DC 10, and it is you have +3 because of DeMarcus's aura.
Woo!
Okay. So you guys make
That doesn't have the +3 in it.
yeah, but it
Just-
still takes you to a 9. So the DC is 10.
That's
So, as you're moving quickly, you see Johoff starting to kind of fall behind. I think the cold seems to have gotten into his coat, and he doesn't seem to be able to keep himself warm. Is there any response you have to that?
I might activate my tattoo.
Okay. And so I'll say activating your tattoo is enough to put you over the exhaustion, and you push through, warming yourself up. Is there an effect? Does that look like anything?
It does, but they can't see it because it's covered by furs.
Okay.
So all they see is me kind of falling behind, and then I sort of like flex and roll my shoulders back a little bit, and then it kind of seems like I shake the cold off and keep moving forward.
Sweet. And so you break for lunch, and as you're breaking, the snow seems to be falling harder and harder, and it's starting to disrupt your visibility, and the the ground is starting to get. It's not difficult terrain yet, but you get the feeling that it's not far away from being that. So, what do you do for lunch?
Could I roll like a survival check? Like what would I usually do if I got caught out in a snowstorm?
Yeah, roll a survival check. And I will assume, Gert's not here yet, but I'll assume that he also would be joining in on that, so I'm going to give you his bonus. I think it's like +7, maybe?
Nice.
And so between the two of you, you would realize that when you're caught in a blizzard, there's... traveling is dangerous. You hopefully just get to a city and hunker down, but alternatively you can form up some sort of windbreak with snow and hide behind it, or find a cave or something to kind of hunker down in, but there's not a lot of great options. You don't have snowshoes or mounts really capable of traversing the snow inherently.
Okay.
You would need a large, or I think you would need a huge beast in order to, well, large or huge, in order to traverse deep snow without being slowed down. So like a horse could do it, I suppose, but you would need more than the two you have. Okay.
Just logistics-wise, could Demarcus and Missile both ride on Demarcus's horse?
Yeah, I'd allow it.
I could enlarge that horse to throw a third on there, but I don't know how much good that's going to do.
It wouldn't last long enough for the effect, I think, because I think it's only 10 minutes,
yeah,
or maybe it's 1 minute.
Yeah. Never mind.
Okay, so hypothetically, Demarcus and Missile could ride on Demarcus's horse, Terran could ride on his horse, and if Vosner turned into a giant elk with 1,000-pound capacity, he could carry Johoff, Isolde, and Damon.
Johoff, Isolde... Yeah, I'd allow that. It'd be the max capacity that Vosner could carry, the three of them, given that Damon is made of metal, and then you guys are also carrying your own supplies.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What is your plan for the second leg of the day? Are you interested in going fast again? Just for the record, the DC on marching fast increases every time you do it, but you guys are also fairly capable individuals at this point.
It's not difficult terrain yet, or it looks like it will be when we set out?
Just to metagame it a little bit, it will be the next travel session. So you have this travel session where you know you can probably make it normal speed, but after this, it's going to start becoming difficult terrain.
Okay. I think it would be best if we keep moving as quickly as we can. It is only going to get more difficult the more snow gets on the ground. It might be dangerous moving that quickly with the ice and the snow, though, so... Are you comfortable moving quickly.
Marcus would kind of like yell through the wind in the increasingly intense weather. He would yell, "We can't get stuck in a blizzard. We have to go."
Missile would like kind of cower, like with DeMarcus yelling behind him like that.
Alright, so lunch is quick and quiet, and we set out again as
And
fast as we can.
this time, are you all mounted? Are you riding on the back of Vosner, or are you saving that for something, or what's your plan here?
If there's no disadvantage to it, then yes. I think that Vosner would try to help out as much as possible.
Yeah.
And
So
probably insist.
the way it's going to work is that the animals will roll the athletics check to see if they can do it. So they're the ones that basically roll that, and then you guys will still all roll exhaustion as well. So, yeah. So are you moving at a fast pace or a normal pace on horses?
Fast.
Okay. So, there's no reason to roll stealth. You automatically fail it. I don't know why I did that last time. And we'll say roll perception on Isolde. Okay. And roll guide on Bosner. Or survival. Okay. And roll animal handling on Missile. Okay. So plus the 9 or the 7. Okay. So a few things happen. Terran's horse seems to recover okay and make the push, as does DeMarcus's horse, and Vosner has to roll. I guess they all have to roll athletics checks. Let me do that real quick. The horse does well. Roll. I guess you don't have access to that. Let me pull up his Ulk form.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
His giant elk wild shape.
Yeah, and roll athletics on that.
It's not broken down like that. It's like strength, dexterity, like a stat block.
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. It's just strength. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so he's able to pull you guys through, and you move at quite a pace, making 30 miles on your second stretch of the day. You guys are moving loud and fast, and at a pace where it's hard to even catch a breath. The cold air is sinking into your skin, and the wind is just like smashing into your eyes, and your tears are like freezing at the side of your eyelids. And everybody makes a Constitution saving throw that is equal to an 11. So anybody who, yeah, so whatever, you have to beat an 11. Okay. So, who is that on? That Flash of Genius? Is that on you?
I'm going to use it on myself.
Okay.
Actually, let me use it on DeMarcus since he's like useful.
Yeah. So I'll say like DeMarcus's hands are getting like frostbit while you guys are traveling, and you notice it and like maybe heat the metal of his gauntlets or something, or I don't know. What I guess you can tell me how you do it. You don't have to consume a spell slot necessarily.
I'd take my arcane firearm and just like turning on a blowtorch just the slightest little bit, and it would be like this little blowtorch out of the end of it, and he could use his hands to warm up at the end of my arcane firearm.
Very cool. Okay. So I'll say that all of you successfully passed your Constitution saving throws and did not suffer a point of exhaustion, and you settle in for camp in the evening.
I only rolled an 8, though, on that, so I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
if that...
+3 from DeMarcus, unless you already had that added.
It doesn't look like it. Okay, never mind.
It says +1, +3, so...
I don't know what those 1s and 3s are.
Oh, yeah,
I think
no,
the
you're
threes is
proficient.
proficiency.
Yeah, he's proficient in Constitution saving throws. Got it. Okay, so you guys make camp for the evening, and you have how many rations for dinner?
I mean, this will be the last day that we have enough. We started the day with 15. And by feeding everyone, we're now down to 6, so...
Oh, I thought you fed I thought we were a day, behind on that. I thought you had 15, and then you all slept or did the day off, and then traveled, or am I wrong?
No, we started this day that we're on now with 15 rations, and I take them out at the end of the day.
Oh, okay. So what are you taking out at the... Oh, okay. So you haven't taken that 18 down to... or that 15 down to 6 yet.
Right.
Okay, so now you do that. Okay.
So
yeah.
everyone can eat, and we can feed the horse and everything.
Okay. So that is your feeding things, and...
Does Vosner want to make do some scavenging?
I don't know. Does Vosner want to?
Yeah, Izzy would probably advise against it, considering we've been so loud. There's a risk going out into the snow, first of all, but especially when we've drawn attention to ourselves.
Yep. Okay. So you guys settle into your camp, and the wind is picking up and howling, and the snow is coming down almost sideways, piling up into big drifts, and wherever you set up your tents, they keep kind of getting piled up with snow, and somebody has to kind of beat it off so that it doesn't collapse the tent. And yeah, that is, you guys settle in. Do you guys want to just go to the night watch then? Hearing no objections. Oh, no.
I will say that while we're setting up the campfire and all of that and eating dinner, I'm sure everyone notices that we're very low on food. And Isolde will just say, I have a way with magic to make more food for us. We won't go hungry tomorrow, but it takes a good deal of my magic, so we will just have to see how things go.
Missile kind of stares hungrily at Terran's horse, but doesn't say anything.
Marcus does say something. He says, how much feed is there left for Terran's horse?
Well, we have 6 rations left, which is about 2 days for a horse. But I can make the equivalent of 15 per day, which is enough to feed all of us, including the horse. The issue will be that if we get into a conflict, I won't have as much magic as I normally do. So I'm a bit worried about that, but we won't starve.
Well, we don't really have a choice, do we?
No. No, we should just keep moving as quickly as we can and try to find shelter somewhere.
How long do you think the blizzard can last?
I mean, a long time. Seasons, sometimes.
I understand.
'Tis a different world up here.
That's all I want to say.
Okay. Do you guys want to change your night watch?
I'll take missiles.
Yeah, I was gonna say Damon would approach Missile and say, Master Missile, the climate appears to be getting the better of you. Perhaps you should take a night off.
Oh, I suppose that's good news. Good judgment, Damon. Good judgment. And he'll hunker down warmly by the fire and just stare at it.
Okay. So, I guess if nobody wants to switch around or do like an RP thing, then we'll just keep moving on.
What does the area that we're settled in look like?
You're in a kind of open plain, still kind of off to the side of the river. Bit to your north are like super dense, craggy mountains that look unpassable. It's the spine of the world. And to your south is a river that oscillates between being kind of frozen over in spots to being slightly exposed. The water seems to be rushing at a pretty good clip. But, it kind of goes under the ice, and then you can see cracks in the ice, and you can see where there's rushing water down the way.
Nice.
To your south, across the river, you can see the dense, thick lurkwood far away. Okay. So, I'll have a night watch with Johoff and DeMarcus. Johoff, roll perception. Okay. Do you guys want to have any RP or no?
I'm tired of this guy. It's cool.
Yeah, Joe-Off's just going to be sitting there, sort of huddled up in his furs with his teeth chattering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of normally ask my horse to make like a sort of like windbreak for us.
Yeah. So I'll say you guys are kind of like huddled behind your horse, he's just kind of sleeping quietly, creating a great deal of warmth. And you guys are maybe cuddled a little closer than you would normally be, given the...
So close.
It's kind of a necessity thing. And I'm going to say... Joe Hoff, make a Constitution saving throw. It's a very low DC. It's a DC 12. But you have Joe Hoff assisting you, and you have advantage.
Wait, you mean I make the throw?
Yeah, make a Constitution saving throw. It's a DC 12, but you have advantage.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So you stay plenty warm during the night, working watching with Joe Hoff. With DeMarcus. And nothing comes for you. The evening is relatively peaceful. Again, the intense blizzard, the sound of the snow kind of gently falling kind of dampens the rest of the sound of the world, and so nothing really comes for you. You couldn't necessarily hear it otherwise, but it's very peaceful. And that is the end of your shift. Bosner will take his shift. Laurel, can you roll perception for me?
He is here now.
I could roll perception now.
Gert, roll that perception.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I am one with the forest.
You're out in the open right now, but yes, you are one with the forest that you can see 50 miles to the south. You see pretty well in the dark. In fact, you are able to kind of make out the wildlife that is kind of quietly and subtly moving in the distance. Things that are kind of like difficult to see, like bears with white fur and wolves and even like hares, rabbits, etc. Things like that, winter foxes. You watch them as the night goes by, hunting kind of in the moonlight, doing various things. your keen perception picks up on it. And
Awesome.
yeah, and that is your watch. Isolde.
Alrighty.
You also have a nice evening watching the wilderness, but the unending and unceasing fall of snow makes you realize that tomorrow the travel will be in difficult terrain if you go on foot. And is there anything else you want to do on your shift?
Nope.
Okay. Stan. Alright, Taryn. Taryn, you don't see much. The wind is just kind of like smashing into the camp, blowing things over. In your shift, you kind of occasionally go over and knock the piling up snow off tents to keep people from getting buried in it overnight. And you can't really see anything, though you sit there waiting, ready in case something does come. Is there anything you'd like to do on your shift?
No, just making sure all the tents are clean is probably what he'd be doing, and also be why he doesn't actually see anything.
Sure. Missile, roll a wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Oh my God.
And you guys wake up in the morning. What's up? Did you say something, Matt?
Sorry, John, sorry. He's +3 on that if it makes a difference.
He's only +3 when you're awake.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, DeMarcus's aura only applies to himself and to others while he is conscious. Technically, sleeping counts as unconsciousness. I learned that as a paladin in a game where an evil witch fucked up with my dreams, and I could not do anything about it because I was asleep. Yeah, it was. Anyways,
Cool.
clever DM. Anyways, yeah, so you guys wake up and start your morning off. I keep referring to you guys as like eating breakfast, eating lunch, eating dinner, but in reality you guys are eating your ration throughout the day, but we're subtracting it in the evening, so, you know, for bookkeeping purposes, that's all that really matters is the evening meal. But you guys get up and you look at the road ahead of you, and it's not quite a road anymore as much as it is just a sea of dense snow piled up over a foot deep.
Yeah, with that in mind, John, while we are used to nibbling on rations at a couple points throughout the day, we will not be eating at all until the evening, because I'm not going to cast that spell until I know that I have that spell slot to use. So she's going to cast that at night, and we're going to eat before bed. So
Okay.
enjoy being hungry all day.
Yeah, I'm just going to say for narrative purposes, that's going to make everything a little bit harder, because you're basically fasting all day and then eating at night. Because you get the advantages of saving your third spell slot by not casting it in the morning, so I'm just going to play it that way. It's not going to be a huge increase. So, what's the pace you're moving?
She would still recommend that we go fast and on horseback.
Okay. So I am going to say, all right. So same system as usual. Laurel roll perception, Bosner roll survival, and Missile roll animal handling. Okay. So, here's what's happening. The blizzard picks up, and the wind is getting fierce. The visibility begins to plummet, and you can all see only about within 30 feet of you guys. And as you're moving through the snow, Terran's horse starts to fall ill and collapses at one point.
Missile kind of like shrieks, "Ah!"
Would I be able to make a medicine check? I guess probably
Yeah.
not on an animal.
No, I mean, I'll allow it. You can try to stop and revive the... Yeah, so I'll say between Isolde's magic and Missile's genius animal handling abilities, you're able to get the animal back, but you realize that if you keep pushing at this pace, the animal will likely die. I mean, it probably could go a whole nother stretch, but at the end, it might die. So it's just a question of pushing it past its limit. And then I want everybody to make a DC 16 Constitution save. Look at you guys and your constitutions. Oh my god. Fucking heroes. Oh, Foster rolled acrobatics. Okay. So what happens is Vosner and Johoff both take a point of exhaustion while traveling at this increased speed. And then let me look up the other rolls. So mark those in your character sheet accordingly. And survival. And at one point while traveling, you guys get turned around and have to backtrack a little bit. We'll say narratively, it's when Terran's horse collapses and he falls behind a bit, and it takes you a second to notice, and you turn around and have to go back and find Terran, and it takes a little bit of your time in the snow, which reduces your travel speed for that segment. So then you heal the horse and get going, and so normally you would be moving 30 miles because of your fast speed and on horseback, but it's reduced to 20 because of the failures. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Bear Squad token rolls a 14 perception. Oh, you know, it'd be clever if I just like put all of your stats into that. Though then you wouldn't get the roll, so never mind. Okay, so you are now, not that you know for sure, within 50 miles of Mirabar. And it is your break for lunch. You're effectively breaking in the middle of a blizzard outside. It's hard to even see each other, and you're kind of gathered around, huddled. And what do?
DeMarcus would kind of see that Johoff and Bosner are struggling, and he would look at Johoff and he would say, "You should ride on my steed with Soul for the rest of the day, Johoff."
Hey, I'm alright. You don't need to worry about me. Just a little tired is all.
Just slow us down. We need to get there quickly. I insist.
Alright, if you insist.
I'll turn into an elk or something to see if I can keep better pace.
Oh, for the record, you might have missed this, but you were a giant elk for the last two travels, which is why everybody's been able to move at horseback speed. And Damon, Isolde, and who else? Johoff have been riding on your back.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Speaking of, I want you to make an athletics check as a giant elk. Or it's just a
Just
strength check.
strength.
Yeah, okay. So I'll just say that for all of that trip, it works out fine. You don't. The way I was going to do that is I was going to add it even more negative to your exhaustion roll if it's even worse, but you passed. So you're breaking at midday, and at this point, it's pretty gray, and I mean it's pretty white outside, if you will. The snow is just coming down so hard, and it's almost difficult to tell what direction you're going without Missile constantly kind of helping you guys direct which way is north, and Vosner kind of attuning to nature to figure out where you're going.
I didn't realize that Johoff was on the elk. I apologize. So there wouldn't really be any advantage to him riding.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I should have jumped in.
Undo that thing. Sorry. I thought that since he's horse fast, he was just hoofing it on his own.
Right. No, it's a good point. Okay, so you guys are you setting off again? And if you are, which pace and so on?
I would tell everyone that we can't keep going at that pace if we want Terran's horse to survive. I think we might just have to go at a regular pace and I guess hope that the snow does not get any worse.
Okay.
It will be worse for us in the long run if we lose another horse.
Yeah, that makes sense. How are we doing on food?
I will make us some food before bed, but in case we run into something that we have to fight, I'm not willing to use the magic for it yet. So, I'm sorry if you're hungry.
No, I was just wondering if I needed to use any of my magic to help out with that if anyone was also lagging.
Oh, well, if you can make good berries. Master Missile has been a bit under the weather, and I'm sure he could use the extra sustenance and a little less strain.
How many good berries would I be able to make, John? I know we limited it.
Yeah, so the way we limited it was that you can make like a serving of good berries, each one. So whatever it says you can make, like I think it says like 8 or 10 or something like that. That's how many you can make. It's just we're changing it so that that is enough to keep one person full. So if you want to burn 6 spell slots to feed 6 people, you totally can. Up to you. But and it still will heal that full amount, so it'll heal everybody for how many good berries you make in a dose. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's what, 1 hit point and whatever else.
yeah, per good berry.
But I'll make 2 good berries and give 1 to Mistle and just hold on to 1 and just say these are pretty handy in combat, so just in case we run out of potions, we have 1 of these at least.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Master Vosner. And he'll take it and stick it in his bag of holding.
It's probably better if you eat it, but it's good in there, at least for a day. So,
When the hunger becomes unbearable, it will be the first thing I reach for.
okay. Hang in there, buddy.
Dylan's gonna get an Oscar at the end of this shit.
Yeah,
Alright.
so good.
10 out of 10, Dylan. Alright, so you guys are pushing on at normal pace, but on horseback. So the 24 miles is the estimated distance. Roll me perception on Isolde. Wunderbar. Roll me survival on Vosner. Nice. And animal handling on Missile. Oh my god. And it did a good horsey check. Let's get a athletics or a strength roll on your giant elk form, Vosner. Actually, here's an interesting point. Vosner actually has... Oh, so I learned something about wild shape recently. That wild shape gets all of your proficiencies as well. So technically, that giant elk should be proficient in athletics, which would give it an even higher bonus. And so I'm going to go back through all of your wild shape forms and toggle those proficiency bonuses so that in case you ever want to use perception as a whatever, you'll have it. But it's actually a pretty interesting thing. I found that out because if you are like proficient in stealth, it makes, being a cat like amazing, or whatever creature that's high in dexterity. So here's what happens. The Terran's horsey hangs in there, does fine. The elk, Vosner in his elk form, is able to push through the blizzard, all of you on his back, like pretty slick. There is very little problem with the travel. And Isolde, you are able to see decently well, but it's so hard to see through the blizzard. And at one point, you think you hear the faint sounds of howling. So I'm going to move your token, the 25, that's like a little generous, 25 or 24 miles closer to Mirabar. You are now one travel away on horseback from getting there, and I am going to throw you to a scene. Which just like broke on my computer.
Have we since long rested, like, during this session?
Oh yeah, you long rest every night.
Okay.
But you have used some of your spells, so play that accordingly.
Yeah. I'm mostly concerned with the Flash of Genius recovering.
Yeah, so you recover all of them at the end of a day. You use one, or you use 2 a day at least for traveling as the animal handler, and then you're using, you've been using a few of them on various checks, so just keep that in mind.
I had used 6 and had 1 left, but I'll just say that I now have 4. I don't know.
Okay. Can you see this okay?
I have you down as having used 1 so far today for animal handling in the first half of the day.
Yeah, and you would have another one for this part of the day. And then, did you use it for your wisdom saving throw of the night?
No, I did. I think I did well enough on that.
And did you use it to help DeMarcus today, or is that the previous day?
That was yesterday.
Okay.
Alright.
Then that solves it. I need to change the tokens here a little bit, because you guys, Vosner is in giant elk form.
Like the scene, John. And like the howling wind.
Thanks. I was curious. Oops. I was curious if this is just destroying your frame rate. Like, can you guys move around
Not
here,
at all.
or is it just okay? It's hard for me to tell if this would be bad for your guys' computers. So we got that, and then we need a horse for who? Vosner. Or not Vosner, Terran. And then we have DeMarcus's horse. So I'm putting Vosner next to his giant elk, or whatever inside of it. And then I'm assuming the rest of you are riding the giant elk, but I'm not gonna like equip you to it. And then Johoff, and then Marcus is on his horse with his missile on the back of it, and Terran over here. Okay, if that all looks good to you. So what happens is you guys, little meta stuff here, you guys have failed a number of perception checks concerning what things might be following you or tracking you, and as soon as you get into this open field where the snow gets very thick and the snow, it's coming down, your visibility is cut off, you hear a howl. And let me just auto roll this.
How far away does the sound jump?
Only Isolde hears it. It's so hard to hear it on the wind, but just Isolde hears this faint howling sound. And oh, did you re-roll that missile or no?
I thought you auto-rolled those. I'm just...
Oh, yeah. Let me... So just roll initiative and tell me if it's lower than you currently. And then we are going to go into some shit.
I assume the lower one is the one that's already chosen.
Okay.
Yeah, the lower one's up already.
So, from out of the snow, a figure runs up to Terran and bites him.
I would call out to the party what I had heard, and I don't know if they can hear me over the wind, but I would try.
And a large, giant wolf, or it's actually just a large wolf, comes leaping out of the snow, biting Terran, and Terran, and he tries to pull Terran off of his horse, but Terran like recoils back and is able to steady himself. Let me turn this music down, but let's do it. Okay. And then it is this wolf's turn. This wolf is going to come and attack the giant elk because technically you guys are all on top of it. It can't reach you. And it comes running out of the woods and bites into... Oh shit, did I target more than one person? Oh
yeah,
shit.
I'm targeted too.
Let me undo... Alright, I got you. And he tries to tug at your leg as a giant elk, trying to like pull you aside, and Vosner, you like are able to kind of kick it away and maintain your balance. And Isolde, it is your turn.
I am going to touch Johoff on the back, because I assume we're all up on the giant elk right now. And cast Warding Bond and just say, stay close to me. And I will jump off the other side of the giant elk. and try to get to a place where I can see as many people as possible.
Okay. I'll say it's like half your movement to dismount the giant elk, unless you want to just do like some sort of heroic leap. And then if you want to move to the center of the group or whatever, you can do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. DeMarcus, you're up.
Okay, so like visually, what can I actually see right now?
You can see one wolf to the south and one wolf to the north. Both one attacked Terran and the other one attacked Vosner's giant elk.
All right, I can pretty much see the whole thing then. So I would say to Missile, stay with me no matter what happens, and I would yell to everyone else, don't get separated, don't get too far, they'll pick you off. And I'm going to ride down to the wolf that's attacking Terran. I guess I'll let you do the movement because there's a lot of pieces on that. And I'm going to attack that wolf. I think I'll go target.
Yeah, alt-click to target. Nice.
Would Missile have moved with him because he's mounted?
Yep.
My bad.
No, you're good.
So I guess I will first take a regular swing at it. As a bonus action, John, I'm actually going to use... this is something I had been preparing over the past couple days because I'd forgotten about it. It's Searing Smite. Searing Smite,
Okay.
actually, it's in the player's handbook, but it's not in the compendium. So what I just did is I typed out the compendium text for it. Hopefully
Okay.
it'll show up in the bar so you can actually see what it is.
Sure.
So let's see. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put that on a regular maul strike.
Okay. Yeah. You swing from your horse and hit it, and then next time you hit a creature with a melee weapon during that spell's duration, the weapon throws a hot intensity, and the attack adds 1d6 fire damage to the target, and it lights on fire.
And basically, for each of its turns, it has to make con saves at the beginning of each turn or take 1d6 fire.
Okay. And I will mark it as... There's no on fire icon. Oh, there is. Never mind.
And then
We got it.
That I'm going to do with my second attack a big swing on it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you give it the big 1-2, and the second hit slams into its shoulder, and you hear, like, its shoulder sockets shatter.
And at the end of my turn, I'll just say, just stay on your horse, Terran, and that's my turn.
Okay. This one is going to come running and bite at this giant elk. And miss. Oh, I gotta make sure they don't have multi-attack. Oh wait, they have pack tactics, so it has advantage. One sec. Roll again. Yeah, so he comes biting out, and Vosner is able to use his antlers to kind of like deflect the blows of the winter wolf as it bites at him. And that is its turn. Missile, you're up. You're on the back of Vosner, or of DeMarcus's horse.
So, Missile is going to kind of lazily, like, take Mortimer off of his back and, like, tweak with him a little bit and just drop him on the ground here.
Okay.
As a bonus action, I'm going to switch Morty to Flamethrower.
Okay.
Now, could I have Morty attack and then just take one attack myself as well?
Yep, that sounds right to me.
Alright. Let's do it. So, I'm going to use this Flamethrower to just do that.
Nice.
Okay. And then what Missile's gonna do, just keep things simple. I'm gonna send a Firebolt cantrip up at that horse.
You mean at that wolf? Yeah.
Or my goodness.
Yeah. Cool.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Awesome. Okay, and that's your cannon too. Johoff, you're up.
Oops. There we go. Okay, I'm technically still on the elk.
Yes.
Alright, well, I'm going to jump off, I guess, more on this side.
Okay.
And I'm gonna punch this guy.
He
Or
jumps
try.
out of the way. And again.
Jesus. Okay. I am going to... I'm going to spend a key point for patient defense so that I have the dodge action.
Okay.
Oh, it's not my thing. Okay, I'll get it from the character sheet. And then that's pretty much it, because I can't flurry of blows unless I hit him at least fucking once.
Got it.
So yeah, cool.
Okay. This wolf is going to run around the side and bite Johoff from behind. It normally has advantage because of pack tactics, but because of your patient defense, it's just a flat roll.
And Sentinel.
Oh, so how's the sentinel work here?
Alright. As long as you make an attack against someone that's in 5 feet of me, I get to make an attack.
Oh, within 5 feet of you?
I believe so.
He's on the other side of you. Does that still work?
Well, it looks like I'm surrounded. So
it's
Johoff is in 5 feet of me, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to say. When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you. Okay, so it's not within 5 feet of you. It's technically, 10 feet away from you.
Oh, alright, well,
This
never
wolf
mind.
would be touching you, and this one too. So if they attack other people, then technically that will happen.
Okay,
So
never
this
mind.
one bites at Johoff, and he actually grabs Johoff's leg. And let me check his movement. Okay, 50. How much did he move? 30. And he bites Johoff's leg and begins to pull him back 15 feet through
By the
the
way,
snow.
John, I don't know if it's because of what it just did, but the screen went very dark for me.
Dark. Maybe refresh it.
Like, I can still see the stuff, but it's like as if my character doesn't have vision.
Like it's dim vision, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe refresh and see if that helps. I think people have talked about that before. Damon, you're up.
That has to do with. It happens to me when you sometimes enter my steed in. The same thing will happen to me, or when you take me on it, or when you put me on the steed. Sometimes when I click off, or just click anywhere on the screen, it'll go away. So it has something to do with that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I think it actually... For some reason, it only applied the 4 damage, so unless maybe Tim did that.
Okay, that might be the foundry thing.
did
I'll
not
put the other 4 on mine.
Cool. Well, whatever. Yeah, it says Johoff has resistance to everything right now in chat, so maybe you equipped the buff. Okay, Damon, you're up.
Damon would use a bonus action to light up his sword, and then cast haste on himself before dismounting.
Okay.
And then my position, like relative to Fosmer's giant elk, is arbitrary, right? I could jump
Yeah.
off. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off towards Johoff and take off after that wolf.
Okay. Oh, this is difficult terrain, by the way, so you guys are moving half speed, but I know you're hasted, so.
Yeah. So, what's the penalty for dismounting?
If you're doing it quickly, or if you're doing it like carefully, half your movement.
Okay. So am I not quite able to reach him then?
I think you would. I think you could probably get to here, maybe.
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna attack.
Yeah, you slash at it with your fiery sword, and it's tugging at DeMarcus's leg, and it kind of like just takes the brunt and keeps pulling. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Taryn, you are up.
Do I see the wolf dragging Johoff away?
If it is more than 30 feet away from you... Nope, it is. It's 25 feet away from you, so yes, barely. You saw it come in, and it's
Alright.
pulling him into the fog.
Okay, seeing that seems like what's important, I'll cast light at the shadow that's disappearing with Johoff.
Yeah.
And I will burn 4 sorcery points to impose disadvantage on its saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Why don't I just Well, you can do it, and then if it doesn't fail, I'll roll.
I haven't found like actual like macros for.
I think it's holding shift will make it have advantage, but I don't know how that works with saving throws.
Yeah, I'll just cast it and then you can.
So yeah, he
he
failed it
failed it.
anyways.
Alright.
Yeah, so you hit it with a huge orb of blight, necromantic energy. Assuming that's
Yeah.
how you describe it. Sorry.
Or it's like that like little filament of like blackness that like settles on him.
Got it. Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I don't want to provoke an attack of opportunity, so I'll stay put.
Okay. Out of the snow, a winter wolf appears and bites Tyrion. And misses. Vosner. It is...
Does that wolf have advantage for pack tactics?
You're totally right, yeah.
Sorry, Stan.
It's alright.
No, it's already badly missed. I appreciate the
He like
integrity.
dislocates his jaw as he tries.
Vosner, you're up.
Okay. Vosner will, I guess, just attack the things in front of me.
Yeah.
Gonna get that wolf.
Yeah, you can attack either wolf to either side of you.
Yep. And I guess I have to ram him. Oops, sorry. It was a lot of lag on my end.
Yeah. Ram. Well, the third hit is a crit. Can you ram if you don't? I always forget. Yeah, ram. I'm thinking of charge. So yeah, you ram into him and smash into his with your antlers, and you cut up his underside.
Alright,
And
I'm
it lets
just
out
gonna
like
stay
a...
right there.
Okay. And the rest of the shittily rolled winter wolves. One comes bounding out of the snow towards Damon and bites. And misses. Another comes bounding out of the snow and bites
Holy shit.
Isolde and misses. And one comes bounding from the north onto Johoff, who's grappled and prone, and he's going to attack It's a flat roll because you still have the dodge. And he misses. So currently one wolf is like pulling on Joe Hop's leg, and Joe Hop is kind of scrambling, fighting him, and another wolf comes up to grab Joe Hop's arm, and he kind of slaps him away. And we are at the top of the...
Can I just point how absurdly lucky our last, 7 rolls have been?
Yeah. Well, luck can turn. This wolf is going to make a what save? Constitution save to see if it burns again. From DeMarcus's fiery shit.
Yeah, correct. Constitution save. The DC's 14.
So how much does it take?
1d6 fire, and it stays on fire.
I'm just gonna say it's 4 damage because that's the average. And then it is going to breathe fire, or ice, sorry, on... Let's see, make sure I don't have anybody.
Right, wait, what?
And it lets forth a howl that shoots ice in your eyes, and it hits your horse, and it hits you, and it coats everything with shards of sharp, frozen, icy death.
Did my +3 help out missile or the horse?
So missile, you failed ever so slightly, so it's a DC 12. So no, missile saved, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, unless missile wants to do a saving throw on DeMarcus with his.
The consequences that he's blinded. Is that what's happening?
No, he's just getting hurt.
All right. You know what? He said stay with me, so I'm gonna make sure he hangs in there.
Okay, just for the record, and I don't keep good track of this. You can only do one reaction until you're per round or per turn. No, it's per round. So if you used it already, keep that in mind. I keep forgetting.
I haven't, but that would be
Yeah.
the first. The only other one I can use is shield, anyways. So
Yeah. And so this winter wolf is going to go, and he is going to breathe cold on this giant elk. Wait, how the fuck? Why is it why is it a saving throw on one? And
Who knows?
oh, it has to wait. Hold the phone. Is this programmed wrong?
I think so.
Shit. Yeah,
But
it
the
is.
other one wasn't?
No, the other one was programmed wrong as well, but the way it's programmed is that it's a ranged weapon attack, and then they make the saving throw. So it's supposed to be a saving throw from the start. Okay. So, you failed, or it doesn't matter. I guess I'll make a saving throw as you, dexterity. Okay, so you succeed anyways, but you're still gonna take half damage, which is, well, what did DeMarcus take about, or missile take? 12. So you take 12 damage. I'll subtract it. So this winter wolf lets out a icy breath, and I will have to remember to fix that on all the other ones. Isolde, you're up.
Alright, I am going to cast Spiritual Guardians. And I know this template always fucks up, but yeah, there's nothing that I can do about it.
Yeah, I'll just undo everything. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I should have healed everybody their shit.
What a wise horse you got there.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay. So it is your turn. You've got that aura around you. Anything that starts their turn in that is going to take damage.
Yeah, is there a reason why it's not hitting the wolf that's 15 feet up from me?
Yeah, because it doesn't occupy a majority number of its squares.
That's fair. Okay.
So, is that your turn then?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't want to invoke any attacks of opportunity.
Okay, DeMarcus, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna take a regular swing on this one in front of me.
Holy shit. You, well, what do you do? How do you kill this winter wolf?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like on fire and stuff, and I'm on my horse, so I guess I would just kind of like lift up my maul, and I would bring it down like it just, let's see, it just, well, I guess it just breathed a cone of magic ice on me. So I would like take my maul in like both hands, and as it's kind of like looking at me and I just got messed up by the cone, I would just like bring my maul like directly into its nose, almost like poking it with like a pool cue with both my hands, and just like crush its face into its skull basically.
You do, and it does. And it is dead.
Nope.
I would say I would kind of like look around for a second, and I would say to Missile, start helping Isolde with ranged spells, and I'll try to keep this one off of Terran, and I would ride up to the one right next to Terran, and I'm going to attack it. Let's see, I'm going to do another... what do I want? Yeah. I'm going to do another bonus action... shit, where is it? There it is. Bonus action. Oh no, because I've got a bonus action because I just killed something. I'm just gonna attack this one twice. 2 big swings. So. Right, there's one and then one more. Alright, that's all I got.
Okay. So you swing at that wolf and miss. And it is this wolf's turn. And it is going to bite at Bosner with advantage. Oh, and I didn't get the roll right. The second hit hits, and he actually bites your hoof so hard that you fall to the ground, and you are prone as a giant elk. And Missile, it is your turn.
Yeah, upon DeMarcus saying to Missile, help Isolde with your ranged weapons, Missile will, like, chuckle. And, will kind of, like, dismiss, Morty with his hand to, like, kind of shoo him away. So Morty's gonna come over here, and, he's gonna do what he does. And I'm gonna torch that wolf. Aw, bummer.
He jumps in the air above the flamethrower, but it still clips his paws.
What a fool. So it goes, and then what Missile is gonna do is he's gonna, like, quickly reach into his bag of holding and pull out a cylinder that's like 1.5 feet long or so, and drop it into his firearm. And he's gonna shoot it at the winter wolf to the north of him. And this net's gonna come out. Excellent. and like this net's going to come out and wrap around the wolf, and it's going to start rising like a helium balloon, trapped in this net up to like 20 feet in the air, and it's just going to stand there.
So this wolf is, I don't know, levitated? That looks, oh, that's paralyzed. I wonder if it's a levitate icon in here.
Hey, can I take a swipe at it as it moves out of range?
Yeah, you'll get the attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Assuming that doesn't fuck with levitate.
I don't think so. Yeah, it's unspecific about attacks.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, and as a warcaster, you can use a spell, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna inflict wounds.
Inflict them wounds. Okay. So, yeah, as it's flying in the air, you reach out and grab its leg and pump it full of necrotic energy. Very cool. It is going to fly out of the range of your area, though, your bubble.
That's fine.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't mind. Is that your turn then, Missile?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Johaf, there are wolves everywhere.
Well, I think we'll start by focusing on the guy whose mouth I'm in.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to describe this for us?
Yeah, I'm like sliding along, bumping along the icy ground, which already upsets me because it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
And my foot is in this thing's mouth. And so I'm using, as it's dragging me forward, I'm using sort of a sit-up motion to keep swinging and bashing it across the face. I do that twice, and then I take the flurry of blows.
It has 1 hit point left.
Fuck.
And you kill it.
Alright.
That's awesome.
Probably can't activate my tattoo this turn.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. Alright, but especially taking the flurry of blows, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I'm going to use 5 feet of my action to, or of my movement to leap to my feet.
Okay.
We're in difficult terrain, right?
Correct.
So, let's see here. I get,
You flurried of blows, so you get 45, right, total? Or more than that?
45 is what I start at.
Yeah, so you're 60.
15,
So you have
60,
30.
So 30, then 25 because I took 5 to get up.
Right.
And I'm technically disengaged.
Yeah.
Oops, I just targeted myself. Not quite what I had in mind. I'm just gonna move back into Isolde's bubble
Okay, yeah.
and I guess abandon Damon because I'm an asshole.
Damon, your turn. You are, you have wolf on each side of
it's
you.
not like anybody can. To be fair, it's not like anyone can hit Damon, so.
Yeah, they basically have to.
Also, I mean, I did just almost get dragged off into the wilderness by my legs, so I'm not taking any chances here. So yeah, that's it for me then.
Got it. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I think, swing at the guy next to me twice.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. You lay into him with your great sword, just like slashing deep cuts into this icy wolf. And as you do, like the ice in its coat is like melting, and there's just kind of like this collision of elemental forces. Is there anything else you do?
No, I think that's my turn.
Okay. Taryn, you're up.
All right. So I just assume that they don't like fire because how well DeMarcus's thing went.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull off one of the beads of fireball from my necklace
Okay.
and chuck it.
Where are you chucking it?
Between the. Sorry, just a second.
Where'd that go?
Between the two guys in front of me, I'll place the thing.
Okay. Boom! Oh, that one wolf saved. Yeah, so you hurl the fireball, the bead of fireball into the area, effectively hitting just the two wolves. The tree lights on fire, and there's this explosion, and then there's this intense, like, steam which fills the battlefield as all of the snow melts instantaneously due to the fire. And the ground is covered in water, which instantly starts to freeze over underneath of the wolves.
Awesome.
And is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, it is this winter wolf's turn. The one next to you, it's going to attack you. And miss. And it is Vosner's turn.
Okay. If I get up, will that provoke an attack of opportunity?
Not if you stand up, no.
Alright, I'll stand up and then just continue to ram the wolf in front of me, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Because I can't do very much.
Yeah.
Let's just roll it once this time.
Yeah. You slam it with your antlers again and cut into it with your sharp pointiness.
Nice.
Is that your turn?
And then I'm going to bonus action heal.
Oh, yeah.
And burn a 3rd level spell slot to throw 3d8.
Go for it.
R/. Is it R/ or /R?
/R space, whatever the number is. I think you have a wild shape thing heal in your spell book, though. That would work.
Do I?
Yeah,
In my
I think
spell book.
I think I put it in your spell book, or your features.
Thorn Whip.
Maybe not.
No, I'm not seeing it in my
Okay,
spell book.
that was a different campaign, I guess. Yeah, so just roll
Okay.
3d8 and we'll add it.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, this wolf is going to attack Damon. He's actually going to breathe cold on you. Oh, fuck. I forgot. I have to rework it.
And I have advantage on dex saves right now.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Actually, why don't you just roll a dex saving throw then, and we'll add damage if you've Okay. So you fail it. So you take, I think a roll up top was 24 damage. So let me subtract that. And make a concentration saving throw or constitution saving throw for your haste. Which is a 16, which passes, because you had to hit a 12. And that is that wolf's turn. Now it is the floating wolf, which is flying in the air and can't do anything, but will breathe down his breath on Isolde. Ugh. Fucking hate this shit.
You need me to make a deck save?
I think I got it. Hold on. Nah, I can't. Yeah, make a dexterity saving throw. And it beats a 12, so you only take 12 damage.
Got it. I'll put that in.
Oh, I already did. Make a constitution saving throw for me. You succeed. Oh, you have advantage anyways. And this wolf...
Why?
Because of Warcaster. This wolf is also going to breathe on Damon, so make
I have to make a
what?
Constitution is a concentration saving throw on Spirit Guardians.
Yeah, you did. Oh, that's what I was having you do a Constitution saving throw for.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, and you passed. But you have advantage on that because of
Warcaster. Got it.
Warcaster. Damon, make a dex saving throw for me again with advantage. Okay, so you take another 24 points of damage. And roll a concentration. You got it. Yeah, so you maintain your concentration as these two wolves just like pelt you on both sides with shards of ice that are sticking now out of your chassis. Like just giant sharp daggers of ice. And he moves closer. And it is this winter wolf, which is dead. This wolf, which is not technically in Isolde's aura, seeing his friend get lifted up, he's going to move here and bite at this giant elk, which he misses. Isolde, it's your turn.
Alright, so it's difficult terrain, so I'm going to move 15 feet there, and my template should come with me.
I'll move that.
I'm going to use Preserve Life. Damon, how much healing would you need to get to half of your max HP?
I would need 20.
You take 20, and then Vosner, how much would you need?
For the elk, let me see. Hit points is 42. I think I would need 10.
You're both at half your max HP now. At 40 points to split between the two of you.
Okay.
And then, so that's a class ability. My bonus action will be Healing Word on Damon.
Okay. Awesome. DeMarcus, you're up.
It didn't show me the total. What was the total?
Oh, it looks like it healed Damon for 6.
Okay. We'll add an extra 3 to that, and then I get the 3 kickback. I don't know why it's not showing me the total, though.
It's weird. On my DM side, it didn't show it, but on my observer side, it did. So it might have been like a glitch for a second in the system. But yeah, Demarcus is up. Whoa. Can you reconnect? Because you sound like a silly robot. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, why? Yeah, why are these all collapsed? I mean, sometimes Matt just does it that way, I think. But it looks like it hit. Yeah. Weird. All the rolls are. Let me refresh my shit. Okay. Yeah. Now it's working. I just had to hit F5 and refresh my browser. Now I can see everything normal. So yeah, Demarcus slams into this wolf, and you can keep going if you want.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound beautiful now.
Alright, so I hit that one. I'm actually gonna do a second level Divine Smite on it.
Nice.
Okay.
It did the damage, but it didn't show the roll for me. That's so fucking weird.
Okay, I'll probably after my turn. I'll probably refresh.
I mean, I don't think it's on your side. I think it's on my side. But you did the damage, so you're good. It hit for a lot.
Then with my second, I'm gonna do a big swing.
Yeah, and you fucking wipe it out. You kill it.
Alright, so with that, do I have enough movement in this terrain to get up to the one up into my left by Damon?
I would say yes, but you're going to be going across a thick sheet, or like a thin sheet of ice that was formed by Terran's explosive fireball in a freezing environment.
Ooh.
So you would have to make a, your horse would have to make a acrobatics check. Which I can do.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that shit.
Okay. So you head across the ice on your horse, and your horse completely biffs it, and you fall off your horse. Make a acrobatics check to see if you get stuck under your horse.
Oh shit, my whole thing just crashed. Can you make it for me, John? Sorry.
Yep.
Oh wait, I might be back. You can go ahead and do it. Though.
Okay.
Super
You are able to jump from your horse before it gets bad.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because missile's on my horse. Turn.
I think you jumped off your horse. You know, he jumped
did
off
he?
the horse a while ago.
Okay.
So your horse slides to the
so
ground,
I'm on
and you're
my
able to jump off it.
Okay. Can I get up to that wolf?
Yeah, you're within range.
Sweet. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry, I need to log out and log back in, which shouldn't take long. My stuff was acting wacky.
Yeah, weird.
Good boy. He's a good boy. Hello. Hi.
Carrie, your mic is on.
It was beautiful, though.
Yeah. He's such a good boy.
I thought I was being
I
a good boy.
was really enjoying the positive reinforcement. I don't know
Yeah,
why you
that's
guys
a
are
good
trying
point.
to take that away from me.
I wish Vosner would talk to Missile that way.
Oh my god. Let's see.
One day we'll get to that. Don't worry, Missile.
John, are you able to
Swing
act
for you?
on behalf of the Marcus?
Yeah,
really quick?
big
You wanna
swing
just take
or
a big
regular?
Swing at that one and see what it does? Yeah, big swing, please.
Yeah, you kill it.
Alright. It's dead? Alright, well, I guess I'll just hang out there then and try to fix my stuff. That's my turn.
Cool. Fucking well done. This wolf is going to go. And let's see. Giant elk is there. I think he's going to attack the giant elk. And he do. And Vosner, once again, you are knocked prone. Missile, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna whistle. Missile's gonna whistle, and Morty's gonna come back. And then, if I wanted to lower that wolf just 15 feet, that wouldn't cost an action or anything, would it?
I don't know how levitate works.
Let me see here. You can change the target's altitude in either direction on your turn.
Okay.
End sentence.
Yeah, I would just, I guess, allow it. You can just up it or down it.
Oh, never mind. I have to use an action to move the target.
Okay.
That's unfortunate. So if Morty wanted to shoot his flamethrower up there, it's only a 15-foot cone. Would it reach the Winter Wolf?
It would not.
All right. Well, that's fine. Morty's with me. What I'm gonna do. So Missile's gonna reach into his bag and he's gonna pull out this like a large marble and like a sphere, a large glass sphere, and he's gonna put it in his firearm. And he's gonna shoot it. He's gonna like find the right parabolic arc. He's gonna kind of like angle it up into the sky, and he's gonna shoot that marble across the battlefield. And when it hits, it's as though 10,000 little marbles all just shattered at the same time.
Yeah, nice. So, again, for some reason it's not loading right on. Oh no, it is. It loaded. Perfect. Yeah, so they made, one of them failed, one of them succeeded, so one took 13, one took 6. Very cool. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Johav.
Right. Let's see here. I am gonna move up to this guy.
Is that buff you did on Johav, is that concentration?
Nope.
Okay, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Boom.
It only drops if I go unconscious or if he moves more than 60 feet away from me.
Got it.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah, Johav punches.
On that second attack, I'm going to attempt a stunning strike,
Yeah, it fails.
and then I'm going to flurry of blows. Did you figure out, John, how to roll with advantage?
No, I didn't. I thought it was holding shift. It might be holding alt, but couldn't tell
Give
you.
it a try.
Oh yeah, it did. It worked. Nicely done. Boom, boom. Nice. So
And then I'm gonna move. Oh, shit. I keep targeting myself. And then basically I'm gonna move back.
nice.
And that's it.
Okay. Damon, you're up.
I think I'm just gonna keep hacking away at the ones that are closest to me.
Such a hacker. A robot hacker. What is this genre? Yeah, you fucking cut into him deep.
Are we like at the end of our travel for the day? Like we're basically about to make camp.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
the
yes.
second half of the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
then,
mean, yep.
Then maybe I'll use my action surge and try and speed this up here.
Okay. Oh, fuck. This motherfucker's got fireballs. Oh, shit! So another fireball in this fight erupts, hitting the ground and the trees, leveling leveling that tree, and like vaporizing the snow and like flash freezing everything as the water quickly turns back into ice in the sub-zero temperature, and a big explosion of steam and cloud like fills the area and comes through on the smoke and like almost obscuring your vision for like a second. Is there anything else you want to do?
No, that is my turn.
Nicely done. Okay, Taryn, you're up.
All right. Well, I will seeing the smoke rising from those guys and seeing them almost dead. I will cast a chromatic orb, but I'll twin it so I can hit these two guys. Oh no, not that guy. These two.
Okay.
And I will do a poison chromatic orb
Nice.
and see if I actually hit.
You do not.
I do not. That's my turn.
You hurl two of them and they like fly between the two of them instead of splitting. This winter wolf is dead. Bosner, you're up.
Okay.
You're prone again.
Prone again, but I'll stand up, and I guess I'll attack the guy in front of me.
Okay.
And I do so with advantage, right? Since
Yep.
he's stunned.
So hold Alt when you click the attack.
Okay.
Fuck yeah! And you crit?
All right.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Yeah, well, you can describe it if you'd like.
All right. So Vosner gets up and seeing this horse or this wolf, totally dazed. He just, as he gets up, just shoves one of his antlers through the wolf's throat, and just blood spraying out everywhere, and then shoves him off to the side. Shakes
Nice.
off the snow. And yeah, squares up to the next one.
Fucking sweet. This wolf is dead. This wolf is floating in the air. He has to make a save? I forgot to do that last time. What's the save, Dylan?
Let me check just
I
a
think it's
sec.
Constitution.
Yeah, an unwilling creature that succeeds on a Constitution. But it doesn't say that it does it do that every turn, or is that a one and done
I
deal?
thought you said something about like each turn it tries to resist it.
No, every turn I can use my action to move it.
It seems.
And if you are the target, you can move. Here, let me do this.
Yeah, I can see it here.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, it can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds. That's a good thing to note in the future. This thing might have been close. That's alright.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
And then, well, succeeds on Constitution saving throws unaffected. The target is only blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't exactly know if it keeps making throws. It seems...
Because it's creature or object, so I
Yeah.
assumed I'd just send it up there and I leave it there for 10 minutes until I break concentration. You're the DM, man. Don't let me tell you what to do.
Alright, so here's... I guess I don't need to get hung up on it. The basics of it is that all the wolves that are currently alive get to go before anybody else gets a turn, and they are going to use their turn to disengage and flee back into the snow, effectively ending the combat anyways. And the question was, did this thing get a chance to save and then drop down and then run away, or did you kill it? But it's probably a moot point for story purposes. So I will say it's still floating in the air, and Missile is just shooting it to death with his firearm. And I guess Isolde and DeMarcus go next, but anyways. I will leave it at that, and effectively the combat ends as the wolves that go next disengage and flee very quickly into the tree line. And we go back to the map.
Whoa.
How many rations do we get from the wolves?
Yeah, DeMarcus is investigating for me.
Yeah, that's a good question. Hold on.
Missile will like lower the levitating wolf, and like Morty will roast it so that whatever meat is there will be cooked and edible.
Yeah, we got a couple of
Okay.
flame broiled wolves to chow down on.
Yeah, so what I'll say is that because they're highly damaged, because they look kind of like hungry, starving wolves, I will let you, whoever wants to roll a survival check with advantage to see how much they can scavenge from the corpses of these wolves. Obviously, the one that was blighted isn't going to be any good to eat. And maybe the one...
Oh boy.
that...
You said advantage.
Yeah,
so
you're right,
there you
you're right.
go.
Okay, so I'm going to say that from each wolf you got 5 rations. So you killed,
Wow.
we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say you got 30 rations from that.
Nice.
Actually, drop it down to 20, because one of those was blighted, and you guys did, like, blow the shit out of them. Like, charred. They're not going to be, like, all good meat.
Yeah.
And some of it's going to have a bunch of bone fragments in it, because, you know, you shattered all their bones. So, 20 rations. And you guys are back to the map, and you are still in a blizzard, and you are about 20 to 25 miles out from Mirabar. And it is the evening.
Yeah. Well, I think we should try to find a place to make camp. Was it getting towards camping time when we were ambushed?
Yeah, we'll say that.
Can I roll a survival check to see whether it would be more advantageous to stay where we are or to get far away from the smell of dead wolves?
Yeah. You can roll one. You know that the smell of dead bodies doesn't travel very quickly in the winter because the snow and the ice preserves the bodies, so they probably wouldn't draw too much attention.
Nice. Then we can use them as a wind barricade.
We already started a fire here with a tree.
Very true. Alright, we will camp down then, and I don't need to use... Well, the wolf rations, will those keep for a while?
Yeah, Vosner knows enough about wildlife and stuff to prep them so that they can last a few days.
Alright, so we'll save those for another day, and she's gonna use create food and water to create 15 rations that are completely tasteless but nourishing. Hmm. And I will say for RP's sake that they look like little loaves of bread.
As a true neutral character, Vosner thinks it's the best tasting thing that he's ever had.
I don't think that's what true neutral means.
Pretty sure. Lack of taste in all things.
So, are we just like feasting right now?
Yep,
Crunch
on
munchin'.
tasteless little bread
Yeah.
buns.
Winterwolf sandwiches, all that.
Yeah. Would we know how close we are to the city?
Yeah, I mean, Vosner's been following the map, you guys have been following the river, you have a good sense of where you are, and, Missile can literally, like, count the amount of steps you took. So, yeah, you could discern that you're half a day's ride if, you remain mounted. Though DeMarcus's horse did get hurt, and, I think Terran's horse. Let me check the fight. There were some AoEs, but no, I think his
I
horse...
don't think they were directed towards the horse, though.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's at full health. Okay, yeah, the horse was able to stay alive.
Nice. And can I tell from its condition if it would be able to move at a fast pace in the morning?
You'd be pushing it.
Okay.
This is pretty harsh weather.
Yeah. Well, I'll do my best, like, to build up snow around some of the wolves and make as much of a little wind barricade as I can for our camp.
Okay.
Before we go to bed.
I'll put that in your initial survival check that you... Net 20. You successfully discern all of those things.
Thanks.
So do you guys want to do the night watch then?
Yeah, I guess so.
Any takers for specific orders of night watch?
I like it the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah, seems
Joe,
good.
roll perception. For the record, have you guys been keeping track of your exhaustion for this purposes? I see Vosner's at 2 exhaustion. I don't know if that's accurate.
Oh, he didn't take one off for our day of rest, and he got one for, what was it, the cold?
Oh, yeah, just
okay.
just yesterday you got it. Okay, so keep that in mind for perception rolls and for your guide roll tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think him and Johoff got one from the cold.
Got it. Okay. Jooff, you do not claim to be able to see shit in this blizzard. You guys are out in the middle of nowhere. You can't even see the river. In fact, you're kind of not even sure which way is north while you're sitting there during camp with DeMarcus, keeping watch.
Yeah, I'm over this weather.
And if you want me to cut to the next scene, we'll do that. Okay.
Oops.
Bosner, you have disadvantage on your perception, but it doesn't matter. You're a perceptive god. Your shift is pretty uneventful. Again, all of the stirrings of nature around you, you get a sense for this biome. You did not grow up this far north, and so you're kind of learning to get a feel for this land in a different way.
Nice. I'm just trying to commune with nature
Yeah.
and commune with any of the animals that come close enough.
Yeah,
Just
there's
get to
like
know 'em.
An Arctic fox that kind of like hops over by your camp and like takes a bite out of one of the winter wolves, and then you commune with it a little bit, but it darts away in the night.
Nice.
Isolde, roll your roll. Isolde, yeah, you are able to stay awake for the whole shift. You tend to the tents, keep the snow from piling up, and it's a relatively uneventful night shift. Missile, roll a wisdom saving throw. Do you Flash of Genius that? Okay. Let me see something. +7. Okay.
Just for RP's sake, in Missile's tent, whatever snow would be on there would like steam off, so snow would conspicuously not be building on his tent, and there would be a glow again, suggesting that he's not sleeping with his armor on and kind of heat metaling it to keep his tent warm.
Perfect. Okay. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna say you can't. Well, no, I'll let you Flash Genius it. That's fine. Because you're technically not awake, but that's fine. Taryn, it is your watch roll for me. Okay. Taryn, at one point of the night, you think you hear the howl of wolves, and then you're pretty sure that was just the wind, but it really puts you on edge for the rest of your shift. And you don't necessarily know if you should wake anybody, but there's just kind of a feeling of uneasiness.
Alright.
And do you do anything else?
No, I'm just deeply anxious because I don't know whether or not I should wake people or not.
Got it. And that is the evening. Nothing of note happens, and you guys wake up in the morning, and the snow has stopped. The ground is still difficult to traverse, but the like visuals are, like it's no longer obscured, and in the distance, this is what you see. It's a pleasant view down the river, and you see the an outpost sort of up in the mountains, down a ways, miles and miles away, that you assume to be just kind of this other like outer outpost. That's an indication that Mirabar is very close. Can you guys all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Cool.
And so, how do you travel for the day?
How far can we move just moving normally?
Normal movement on a mount is 24.
Yeah. Alright, that's probably where we'll try to go then.
Okay.
Just normal pace.
Okay. So Isolde roll perception, Vosner roll survival with disadvantage, and then Missile roll animal handling.
Can I also, as we were like getting ready in the morning and packing up tents and stuff, she would be checking kind of inconspicuously to see if Missile looks worse.
Yeah, roll a medicine check on Missile. he looks about as bad as he looked yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, his posture is kind of like his shoulders are slouched, and he's already very short, but he almost appears like 2 inches shorter, and bags under his eyes, so he's sleeping, but it's not restful. And when he talks now, his voice is a little raspy.
Interesting.
Okay, so the survival, the perception, and the athletics of the horsey. Did I get animal handling from Missile?
You did not. You are about to.
Cool.
Oh, man.
Negative
I'm not even
1.
going to bother with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you guys make it to Mirabar, but like within the last like bit of your journey, Terran's horse collapses dead, like right out front of the city of Mirabar.
Close.
Oh no.
And
He
you
gave so
guys
much.
have
Give him a
arrived.
big staple in the sky.
So, as you walk under that kind of outpost, you don't go up to it because it's like way up in the mountain. You kind of come around the bend into this massive cave that's kind of got this opening, and you see this. Oh no, sorry. You see this.
Whoa.
Nestled in... Oh, what the fuck? Okay. There we go. Sorry, I loaded 2 scenes really fast. I don't know why you're all on the other one, though. Alright, sorry everybody. Which one are you on right now? Do you see a gate or a big city?
Big city.
I see the gate.
I see the gate now.
Okay,
I saw
I'm gonna
big city
throw
for a
you to this picture, and then I'm going to throw you to the one I wanted to throw you to. Oh my god, now you guys are all on.
So much teleportation.
Okay, hopefully this works.
Big city.
Can you see the big city?
Yeah. Big city.
It's
Yeah, big city.
Okay, so the river winds slightly into this cave structure. It's not really a cave as much as it is just like a large empty space in the mountain that you know will like lead deeper into the mountain. This is sort of the outer space of Mirabar, known as Outer Mirabar, that a lot of people live in, and then there's like one major gate entrance which you guys can see down lower area that you are walking towards in order to enter the city. But you can see that the sort of history of this place is that it is a unassailable, impenetrable fortress because it's stacked up so high, and anything that would attack into it would have to basically break the gates. And they're just known for basically having never been overrun by orcs. However, they are sort of isolated in their giant keep, and they keep to themselves in the mines of Mirabar. And as you guys approach, would you like to do any RP stuff amongst your group?
As we get there, I kind of, like, as we get, like, right up to it, I would kind of say to Missile, it's time to get off. We made it. Tell you're tired, but I'm going to let my friend go back home for a little while.
Oh, I suppose that's fine. I'm just looking forward to a warm drink, a hot meal, and a nice bed.
I very, like, tenderly kind of, like, help Missile off of my steed. And then I kind of take a moment with my steed and pet it and kind of, like, getting close to it. And I'm actually going to dismiss it as an action.
Okay. As you do, the horse sort of kind of runs away from you, looking back, and then as it turns forward, as it's running away, it seems to slowly transform into like a cloud of feathers, which take to the wind and sort of disperse. And it is gone. And is there anything else you want to do RP-wise before you get to Miramar?
That was all I wanted. Thanks.
Anybody else?
If Missile hadn't already dismissed my steed, I would.
Oh, yeah. You're just gonna leave your
fair-
dead horse on the ground and walk away?
You can cover him in snow.
He'll be there in the spring.
Awesome.
I guess, yeah, that's what we'll do. Like, there's not a lot of options.
I
Okay.
mean, that's what Izzy would suggest.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
keeps
How
him
many
from
rations
being
can we get out of that
food.
horse?
Nope.
We're at Mirabar, man.
Okay. So you arrive and you find yourself at the a large gate, and at the top of the gate stand guards who are very stout looking and have these very dense helmets. And as you approach, one of them shouts down, "Hey, what you doing there?"
Can I ask a quick meta question?
Yep.
So, the High Wizard told us to look for his dwarf friend in Mirabar.
Darrington Ironblood.
Darren, yeah. And we have a satchel for him.
Yep.
Um,
I put it in as old as inventory, I think, a while ago.
okay, I just have it in my notes.
Got it. So, they repeat. Well met there. What brings you to Mirabar?
We're looking for a friend of ours.
That's not a great answer. You have to be more specific.
We are on business from Silvery Moon, looking for Darrington Ironblood.
Were you given a location for said Darrington?
I believe we are told to look in the ore mines.
Wait, were you?
Is that correct?
I don't remember.
I have dwarf friend in Mirabar and then ore mines in parentheses.
I think I told you. Maybe I didn't give you a name of the place, but I mean it's true that Mirabar has ore mines, so maybe that's what your quote is from. But I think you were told to go meet him at the Golden Scale, which is a bar or a tavern.
And that is what I say.
Okay, well, the rules is you don't brandish any weapon in Mirabar, else you'll be hanged.
We just keep them though. Just don't take them out.
Correct.
I assume the same goes of magic casters.
Indeed. In fact, nobody's allowed in inner Mirabar. You must stay to the outer locations.
Right. Could you give me directions to the Golden Scale?
I will have a guard point you in that direction.
I appreciate it.
And
And I kind of
the gate opens slowly, and out steps a small, or not a small, but a shortish, like a 5 foot tall dwarf, very stout, in full plate, who has a giant ass battle axe. And he says, "Oh, right this way here."
And I'll just kind of look to everyone to make sure they all put their weapons away.
Marcus glances at Joe Hoff and looks at his fists.
Chill stares down at his fist for a second and then puts them in his pockets.
Rosner crosses his arms and will not take off his antlers.
I
And
think that's okay.
as you guys are walking, what you see is this like kind of sprawling outer city area of all this dwarven architecture. Missile would be familiar with it, and maybe Damon, having traveled a little bit, even in ancient Netherese empires, there were dwarven settlements, and yeah, you guys travel through the city and find your way to a bar. And I'm gonna take a little break because I have to pee.
Okie doke.
And earlier I meant that missiles sort of like tossing tiny little metal balls out there, and also his ability to heat things up was very reminiscent of Thistle.
Yeah, heat metal is definitely a carryover, but I think it fits much more with a artillerist artificer who's got smoldering armor. But
Wondering which of the brothers kind of like was this a family kind of like thing, or
yeah, the Ludovics were eccentric folks, and that eccentricity was expressed artistically through Thistle and more scientifically and schematically in Missile. And so it's the same sort of insanity, but one is type A and one is type B with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's good fun.
That's hilarious.
Something about gnomes, man. They're free, you know?
All right, I'm back. Is everybody here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, let's do it.
To answer Missile's question, there weren't Netherese dwarves necessarily. The Empire of Netheril was like, had lots of races involved in it. But the dwarves tend to stick to themselves and have their own cities. But they've been around for so long that Anyways.
So there's like overlap between the Netherese Empire and like Dwarven heritage. There's some...
Oh yeah. I mean, the Netherese Empire failed basically 1,500 years ago. So you're talking like, dwarves don't live that long, so it's not like there's somebody who's from that time or anything. But
Got it.
okay, so you guys walk into this dwarven pub, and Taryn and I think Damon would be the tallest people. You realize that the ceiling is not designed with tall people in mind. That it's still tall enough for you, but they seem to have put in the minimal effort for people of human and above height. So you kind of duck in there.
Guys, we've got to watch our heads on the crossbars there.
Yeah, the crossbars, you have to watch it.
Gotta slap between them.
Marcus slaps Joe off on the back really hard and just says, see, no problem, and goes to sit down at the bar and orders a drink.
And the bartender comes up and says, "Oh, sure, what can I do you for?"
Bill, please. Lots.
You got it. Hey, you look like shit. You been outside lately? What was that?
Yeah, we were just in Lurkwood.
The Lurkwood, eh? Oh, that's some rough turf.
Yes, it's pretty rough. We've been looking forward to a drink for a long time, so,
Well, here you go. Congrats on your travels. You know, there was a big blizzard out there a while ago.
That's it.
Yeah. Be terrible to be caught in something like that.
Could be. There's wolves out there, too.
Oh, sure, and worse.
Like what?
Oh. Bears, trolls, gnolls. I mean, just name it.
Birds. Any big birds out there?
Oh, sure, you got birds, you got dragons, you got wyverns. All sorts.
Well, we'll have to be careful if we get back out there.
Yeah, you're telling me. Well, here's your ale. And then he just hands it to you.
Sir?
Did you buy a round for everybody or just yourself?
I don't know, I just said lots. What do you give us?
I'd say he gave an ale for everybody in your group. And it cost DeMarcus a single gold. So mark that shit.
Okay.
Love those prices.
Missile is going to give his ale to Johoff and ask that wonderful host, excuse me, sir, do you have some warm tea, perhaps?
Oh, like with leaves in it or something?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
jeez, you should probably see the doc.
you have doctors here.
Oh, sure, yeah. Mirabar's got great doctors.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Some tea first and doctors later.
Yeah, I don't got any tea, that's the problem. I got whiskey, that might cure your cough there.
No, thank you. I'll think of something out.
Never known a rock gnome to turn down alcohol, but okay.
Missile kind of like slinks away to the fire in the middle there and just like pours some water into a cup, I guess, and heats it up.
Okay. Poor man's tea.
Maybe if the guy has honey, we can put some honey in there too. I don't know.
I got mead, he shouts from the back.
Oh, that'll do just fine. And Missile will pour like a little bit of mead into the water too, and heat it up into a really shitty tea.
Yeah, make a Constitution saving throw and see if you get drunk.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're alright.
Alright.
Okay. What else are you guys doing? What's Joe Hoff doing? Sometimes it's better for me to just ask what individual people are doing. I feel like it gets better responses. What's Joe Hoff doing in this dwarven bar?
Drinking so heavily and so quickly that it will be a wonder if he makes it another 10 minutes without just absolutely being slobbering drunk.
Got it. Okay. So, as you're heavily drinking, I guess maybe if anybody wants to describe other stuff they're doing.
Izzy would take the ale that DeMarcus had bought, and we'll sit at the bar with him a while and drink it. But she keeps looking around the room, trying to suss out who Darren Ironblood might be.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess I could throw you on this scene, but it's more of a picture, so... I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Vosner will sit next to Missile and just kind of sip his ale and get warm to the fire and see how haunted this poor little gnome is.
How would you discern that? Or
I don't think I can.
Why would you think that?
He just looks terrible.
well,
He just looks like he's going through some shit. Maybe he's... I'll ask Missile. So you having any bad dreams?
Oh, no, I ordinarily have no dreams.
And you haven't had any... Well, I guess any dream would be extraordinary to you. But haven't had any weird things happen at night?
Nothing out of the ordinary, I suppose. Why do you ask, Vosner?
You just don't seem like yourself. But
I certainly no longer feel like myself. I'm not so accustomed to spending so much time in the wilderness as perhaps a druid such as yourself would be.
You got a point there. It just seems like you picked up some sort of bug.
Well, hopefully some time close to the fire with enough to drink and a return to the library would put me on the mend.
I never knew books could heal people.
He looks at you like that's just the most incredulous thing anyone could ever have said.
Vosner is trying to figure out how books have healing properties. If any.
Do you say that?
No, but he's trying to work it out in his head. You can see him trying to, like, do they?
alright, I'll cut from your befuddled interaction to ask what Taryn is doing in this dwarven tavern.
Taryn will be mostly trying not to hit his head,
Got it.
but he's probably with DeMarcus and Isolde, just kind of slowly sipping at his ale and looking around. Eventually, if nothing jumps out at him, he'll ask the bartender if he knows a Darrington Ironblood.
And he goes, oh, sure, yeah, he's just over the way there. And he points at the end of the bar. But Darrington has already approached Joe Hoff, who is drinking very heavily. And he says, oh, hey there, you look like a bare-knuckle fight come to life.
Joe Off is going to kind of cast his eyes around first before figuring out that he needs to look, like, down.
He's only 5 feet tall. He's not that short.
Yeah, well, I figure, Joe
Yeah.
Off's up on a bar stool.
Okay, yeah.
He kind of looks around and then looks down like, oh, where it has been said that I've, got some skill in the fighting arena.
Yeah, you look like you, Sorry, I forgot what accent I was doing. Um, you look like you've, taken a punch or 500.
Poison knives as well.
You, I think you're here, looking for me.
Well, you've got the wrong idea there. And then he will gesture towards really basically anyone else in the group, just kind of a drunk, like flung out arm. She's in charge, and not me. So, nice to meet you and all, but I'm not the right person to be talking to here.
Oh, sure, yeah, well, just take it easy, alright? You don't want to, pass out. This dwarven ale is a lot stronger than, that piss you drink down south, so just, take it easy. And he walks up to Isolde, which I assume is over here, because I haven't
Sure.
given you characters. Hey-ya! There you go.
Oh,
I'll put you guys over there. And we got Fosner and Missile chatting by the fire. And I just assume you guys are there. So he shows up to Isolde, who was vaguely gestured at. He says, so I imagine you are Isolde?
I am. Are you Darren in Ironblood?
That's right.
It's nice to meet you. I was given your name by Terran in Silvery Moon.
Oh, good old Tarn. What a mensch, am I right? True good guy. Did he, did he happen to give you anything for me?
He did, yes. And she'll pull out that little gray satchel that was given to her.
You didn't
He
open
told
it,
me
did
not
you?
to look in it.
Sure.
No, I. Here, and she'll hand it to him.
Oh, alright. And he, takes, like, the string on the outside of it and cuts it delicately, and he unfolds it, like, one slip of paper at a time. It's very meticulously folded in this complex way. And finally, once he gets it completely unwrapped, this stench fills the room, and he takes in this deep breath. He goes, "Oh, Silvery Moon has the best cheese." And he takes a giant bite out of it.
Well, I guess my curiosity was, I guess not so appropriate. It's just cheese then.
Oh, it's not just cheese. And he's just munching down on it. It's the finest cheese in the north.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to deliver it to you.
And he's just like nodding, munching on cheese.
How do you know Terran?
Oh, we go way back. And he's just munching.
Well, we were told that you might be able to arrange some travel for us. Barge down the river to Luskin.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm heading down there in 3 days here, so should be a quick trip. Happy to have you come along. You brought me this cheese here, so you're all squared away.
Oh, it is very nice of you.
Oh sure, well I mean the river does most of the work, so it's not much extra to just bring people along, but sure there's only so much cargo space, so you have to kind of pack in tight.
Of course, and I assume we have to bring our own provisions?
Well, yeah, I mean rations and what have you.
Alright. Is there a particular place here that we should find those?
Oh, well, the barkeep can probably point you in the right direction. I don't, you know. We'll figure something out. Just metagame, I don't have a name of a place in mind.
That's fine. So 3 days then. Is this the Golden Scale also an inn, or is it just a tavern?
Oh, it does both.
Right. And do you stay here?
No, I got my own place in Inner Mirabar. So, but I have an apartment here in the outer, so, you know, I kind of go both ways, which is rare, but, you know, I'm a rare breed.
Yes, we were told that no one is allowed in the Inner Mirabar, so what makes it so different?
Well, it's mostly dwarves, and, well, it's kind of just off-limit to outsiders, you know, a security measure and all that.
Right. I assumed as much, I just didn't know what made it so different.
Well, it's also inside of a mountain, so it's slightly different than this situation in that regard.
Of course. Well, I suppose we will stay here then, and if you need to find us for any reason, if the travel plans change, you could find us here.
Oh, well, travel plans don't really change around here. The barge leaves when the barge leaves. It's a good thing you got here now versus later. I mean, you would have had to wait a couple weeks probably for me to come back.
Oh. I guess we are very fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little unfortunate. That cheese probably would have tasted even better if it was here 2 weeks from now, but, you know.
That's fair. Well, you're welcome to stay and drink with us. Since we'll be traveling together, it'd be nice to get to know each other.
I've got some things to attend to, but sure, yeah, I'll stay and drink, have a few with you. You better warn your crew
we'll
here.
Be here for a couple days.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you better warn your crew here. The ale is a lot stronger up here. I think your friend's about to pass out. He points towards Joha. Make a Constitution saving throw for Joha, would you? You're sitting next to DeMarcus, so you get +3. He's a good drinking buddy.
Oh, nice.
If you're trying to pass out, though, I'm the worst.
Yeah, I mean, that is sort of the long-term goal here.
Right. But DeMarcus would have said that to the dwarf. He would have said, I think that's his goal.
Yeah, Johoff is struggling to hold this liquor. And he hasn't fallen asleep, but he's done a few head nods after pounding like 4 in a row.
I will warn them, and perhaps we'll get our rooms arranged for us.
Sure, he's about to make himself a room here right on the floor.
Yeah, he would be trouble to get back up to his room though, so... She'll get up and... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. You can get up.
Yeah, she would just go to the bartender and ask for a couple of rooms.
Okay. Yeah, the
So
barkeep
will say,
will arrange it. Yep. Oh, Johan.
Joe will go, did you say a couple of rounds? Right, I'll have another round, please.
She'll walk back to the table. You know this is much stronger than regular ale, right?
Did you walk back to the table with rounds?
Yeah.
So DeMarcus would take them and sort of like raise his glass to everybody else over here. Taryn, Damon, Isolde, Johoff. Is Darrington still here?
He's sitting at the table with Damon, and he's about to talk to Damon.
Oh, we're at a different table. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So who's at my table? Me and Johoff and Isolde. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Cool. And so I would just kind of like raise my glass to Isolde and Jooff then and say, well done, everyone. Y'all made it, and it's thanks to your leadership, Isolde. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Taryn is with
I think
Isolde
we
now?
were
Okay.
quite fortunate. But I certainly can't take all the credit.
Well, we did it as a squad. Everyone did their best, and I think that proud to say that we did the best we could, and it went quite well. Could have went way worse.
Agreed, it could have been much worse. And all that being said, I think we got here at the right time. The barge leaves in a couple days, so we will get a few days of warmth and rest and proper beds.
Marcus uneasily looks over at Missile and says, I don't know very much about gnomes, but do you think that that's what he'll need? Is he sick? I can't tell what's wrong with him.
I have been checking up on him for the last couple days, and he seems ill. But I can't quite be sure what is causing it. I'm hoping that I can confer with someone else in the city. Maybe get him to see a doctor.
We'll have to get to the bottom of it. We can't have him going out again into the cold like that.
I also requested that we only get a couple rooms so that we are not sleeping on our own. I honestly am a bit worried about him, so I would prefer that someone stay with him.
Of course.
So while you guys are talking...
But,
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
oh, she would just say cheers and focus on her ale for a little bit.
Okay. Darren has come up to Damon and gone, so, what kind of metal are you made out of anywho? Looks nice, but, you know, nothing beats dwarven craft. And he gives you, like, one of those, like, elbows.
Do I actually know what my composition is?
You can make it up on the spot if you'd like.
Cool. I would tell him, I believe that I am 45% dolomite.
Wow. I, actually never heard of that, which is, rare, since, you know, metal's kind of my thing. Maybe it's a translation situation.
Yes, I believe there may be a magical, funky component to it.
Ooh, alright. Right on.
Good.
You didn't have anything else to say unless you have something?
I would probably just, because you said that like I may have some familiarity with like some of this from my travels with Voltanis, but I think I would probably say something like, this is quite an impressive structure. It seems to go directly into the mountain. How was this accomplished?
Oh, well, you know, it's been built up over, you know, thousands of years. The first dwarves who came here just kind of started mining, and then they built these fortifications, and it's actually kind of a long story, but yeah, I mean, just a lot of years and hard dwarven blood, sweat, and tears.
How many years has Mirabar existed in this form?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. As long as there's been dwarves, I think.
Fascinating. Do you know, is there any official history of the town kept?
Oh, probably in a book somewhere. I don't claim to have read it, though.
Would it be kept in a library of sorts? And would this library be open to the public?
Oh, I imagine any good library would be in Inner Mirabar. Again, I can't claim to be knowledgeable. It's a little outside of my expertise, if you will. But sure, I mean, it's if somehow you got access to Inner Mirabar, I'm sure they would let you go to the library, but these days probably wouldn't happen.
I see. It sounds as though there are no exceptions made to the no outsiders in Inner Mirabar rule.
Well, I mean, you'd probably have to befriend somebody pretty high up, and, well, I don't qualify, I guess.
I see. Well, perhaps another time.
Oh, yeah. And, he would kind of go back to the table and just start drinking.
Would I be close enough to have overheard mention of the library in Inner Mirabar?
Yeah.
Okay. So drinking his mead tea, Missil's going to take some parchment and a writing utensil out of his bag of holding and scribble a note that basically says, Missil Ludovic, Netherese, scholar of Netherese automatons, with an emphasis in mastication, hereby requests access to your library. And Missil would take such a note to Darrington and say, Pardon me, sir. I believe I've heard you talking to my friend there about a library in Inner Mirabar.
I mean, I don't know of any particular library. I just figure there probably is one, and if there was one, then it probably would be in there.
Would you be able to deliver this letter to the front desk of the library?
I mean, maybe, but I'm not guessing it's... I mean, the paperwork alone, it would probably take a while to process.
He'd hold up his hand and dig into his bag and take out 10 gold and like put it on top of the letter and hand it to him.
Yeah, I'll see if this does anything for you, but no promises, okay?
Oh, I wouldn't expect any promises. Nothing is certain, as you know.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you know, that breastplate you're wearing seems to be, you know, pulling you down there, old fella. Are you sure you're strong enough to be wearing something like that?
I don't want to reconsider it. It's quite a lovely breastplate, but, well, I'm quite fatigued from a long journey. Hopefully I'll get back into a fit state.
Yeah, well, you know, keep your distance and all that. You know, it's important to not spread germs.
He'll look at you like and wondering what a germ is, and go back over here and like take his breastplate off and put even his armor into the bag of holding.
And he'd say, you know, you could swap that out for some dwarven chain. Just a thought. Might be a little lighter.
Missil's like gonna kind of like just be taken aback by the suggestion, I guess.
It's a little pricey, but you know, could always, if you guys are you know, rich in gold, you seem to be throwing it around to go see a library, so just a thought, you know, just let me know.
Duly noted.
And let's see. You guys have any other stuff you'd like to do in here, RP-wise?
Sort of watching all that go down, DeMarcus would say quietly to Joe Isolde and Taryn that, wonder what he's so eager to learn about in the library, if it has anything to do with the condition that he's in.
Taryn will say that he's like that with every library.
Yes, I'm sure it is just his regular insatiable hunger for knowledge. But if he does go, we should not let him go alone.
I agree.
Yeah, well, that was good.
Are you alright, Johoff?
Or little level better.
DeMarcus, if you could share a room with Johoff, could you make sure he gets up there safe?
Of course. He could get in much trouble here.
And I'll...
What?
Go ahead.
Will, you worry too much. You always did.
Marcus is gonna take what's left of his ale and slide it in front of Joe.
Izzy heard that, and her face looks kind of worried for a second.
Okay.
Wait, so you slid... Sorry, Matt, you slid the rest of your ale?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
In? Oh. Yeah, Joe did not see you do that, but then notices that there's extra ale in front. And goes, "Ooh, we've been brave," and starts drinking it.
Once Joe Hoff passes out, I will try to carry him or drag him to the quarters.
Awesome. Yeah, so you pick up Johoff and carry him to the room that Isolde has purchased for you guys, which I think we said was like 2 gold a night. I don't know. I don't remember what my rates are.
I'll put that on there.
Sure.
2 gold a night. And we're here for 3 nights.
Yeah, actually make it 10 gold a night, given that your drinks were a gold. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I wanted to get us 3 rooms.
Okay.
So Johoff and DeMarcus in one, Taryn and Vosner in the other, and then Isolde wants to keep an eye on Missile, and figures Damon will as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. As you kind of walk away from the bar, Darrington approaches you, Isolde, and says, "So it seems to me that you're the leader of this here expedition. I just received a note that, well, can't really talk about it too much here, but I have a request for you."
Where could we speak about it?
Oh, I mean, we could speak about it here at just kind of hushed tones, if you will.
Sure. And she'll, I don't know, follow him to a corner table or whatever
Yeah.
it is that he wants to do.
So, sitting down at a corner table, he sort of like puts his hand on his forehead. He looks a little bit overwhelmed, and he says, "A recent shipment was supposed to come in, and well, it hasn't, and it was going to be a large amount of the funds for this trip to Mirabar. So I need somebody to go looking into it, but can't really go through the normal channels, if you will."
Why not?
Well, the let me see one second. I'm trying to remember the name of the company. I think it's Gold Company. Oh, the Golden Hand. He says the Golden Hand allows for trading between Mirabar and Luskin, and that's well and good, but the all that's traded has to go through certain channels, and well, these goods weren't going through the proper channels, so I would be fined heavily for even participating in this endeavor.
I see. So what would this involve then? We are looking for a caravan?
Yeah, a wagon of sorts, somewhere on a trail. I could point you in the direction, but for some reason it never came back. I don't know if it, something got held up in the mine, or if it just didn't make it back from the mine. It's, well, I just don't know.
Alright. I'm sure we can look into it.
Well, that's great. I will
It is in
be able to
the ore
reward
mines
you.
here.
No, not in these mines. See, that's the reason why it's kind of a hush-hush thing. These are mines on the, in the valley of Kedrun, actually.
Huh.
But not too far, not too far. You wouldn't have to go all the way back to the Lurkwood or anything like that. Just, half a day's ride or so. Nothing too big.
All right.
And I'd be able to reward you handsomely, and you would be making me a lot of money.
So the reward would be gold.
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll give you a big cut of whatever you bring back.
Alright, I will talk to my party members. I don't make big decisions without them.
Of course. But if it makes it any sweeter, what we're looking for is diamonds, so...
Ah. Well, perhaps the reward could be a cut of those then.
Sure, yeah, I know you healing types prefer them.
Yes, and I'm actually in quite a need of them. Is there a place to procure those even before we depart?
Yeah, but the outer Mirabar rates are gonna be killer. Best to just get them from this, situation here.
I see. Well, I'm sure we can look into it for you. And, if you could just, and she, gives him some paper and a pen, point us in the right direction, we could get on it in the morning.
Of course. And he marks a little X on your map.
Right.
And he says, hey, you don't happen to be part of the Red Axe clan, do you?
And she looks so startled. Why
Well,
would you ask me that?
your shield there, it's got the Red Axe logo on it. It's kind of rare
You
in
know
these
them?
parts. Sure, yeah. I mean, anybody's been to Luskin knows about the Red Axe.
I had a very dear friend who was part of the Red Axe clan.
Oh, well, God rest his soul, probably, right? I mean, given what happened to them all.
Do you mean?
Oh, well, when Gunderlin was sacked, most of them were killed.
What? What happened to Gunderlin?
Oh, I mean, it's not really new news. It's about 20 years ago, and that island got sacked by the, pirate king of Luskin. They got rid of most of them Red Axes. Ones who lived fled.
Oh. Oh, right, of course.
I think they're living down south now. Can you imagine it? A bunch of northerners on a tropical island.
Yes, that is a funny thought. Do you know much about this pirate king?
Oh, sure, but that's a long story. Maybe better for the boat.
Of course. Well, I should get back to my friends.
Of course.
She kind of just stands up and walks back, looking a bit pale and shaken, back to the other table.
Olaf is passed out. DeMarcus is reading his book, and he definitely does not notice you being pale and shaken.
She prefers it that way.
Taryn does notice, but he doesn't say anything and decides to let you bring it up if you want to.
Good friend. She comes up and says, "We might have a job. I know it is a little bit soon after finding warmth and comfort." But the reward is diamonds, which we are very much in need of.
What's the job?
It is recovering some cargo that did not make it. It is about a half-day travel. Looks maybe north in the valley to a particular set of mines that are not technically Mirabar mines, but the whole situation is very hush-hush.
Sounds like we could get into trouble.
Perhaps. Although it would not be us getting into trouble, I don't think. It seems that the trouble would be some fines levied on D&D for bringing in trade that was not sanctioned.
Sounds like we could still be in trouble by extension, or being the people who try to get it.
Perhaps.
We may not easily give up all the diamonds. What are we willing to do to get them?
Well, he doesn't know why they got hung up, so I think probably initially it would just be reconnaissance. And if it looks like it would be too dangerous, we will not interact. But it is perhaps the case that the people carting it got killed by something and they are just sitting there. So we really don't know very much.
Well, I'm finding out then. Johoff will be well rested. I don't know about Missile though.
Yes, that is true. I think Missile should be our priority. So maybe we will try to get him to the doctor in the morning, and then if he is doing better by the afternoon, we will go then.
That's good.
Anyway, it takes about half a day, so maybe we take tomorrow to rest and go on the second day. We wouldn't want to get there at night. So would not help with the information gathering.
Is there anything anybody else would like to do before settling down for the evening, I suppose? Missile has already requested access to the inner Mirabar library, but anybody else can ask for anything they'd like.
I think maybe a couple pints of ale to put on my bedside table, just in case I wake up in the middle of the night and need something to drink.
Okay.
She would probably ask Darrington and the bartender just about healing clerics or places that were known for healing. She could take Missile to.
The general response would be like, these kinds of things are normally kind of an inner Mirabar thing. All the specialists, all the kind of privileged things are inside. The outer Mirabar is kind of like a, like it's a lot like Rivermoot, where it's bare supplies for outsiders.
She would tell DeMarcus that, and then say, our only bet probably is if he gets into the library. But we'll see what a night of rest does for him.
DeMarcus, make a history check for me. Okay, yep, never mind.
I also have proficiency in history.
Yeah, it'd be specific to DeMarcus's history.
I see.
So yeah, DeMarcus would respond and just say, well, let's think about what we can do specifically for him then.
Yeah. She would tell Damon that she got a room for him, her, and Missile, and would tell Missile that as well.
Very good, Captain. I think that is wise. I will be able to keep an eye on him should anything happen in the night.
And I'll go over to Missile and say, I got a room for us and Damon. I checked about maybe getting you to see a doctor, but it does not seem very accessible. Do you mind if I try to heal you a bit?
He'll pause and think, I suppose there's no harm in that.
Right. Perhaps best done when we get upstairs. I know that people were uneasy about magic.
To be sure, to be sure. Yes, we shall try again later this evening.
So, I guess it can wait if anyone else has anything going on, but when they do get upstairs, she'll try casting Lesser Restoration on him.
Okay. So in the room that you're in, you reach out your hand and cast Lesser Restoration, and you do see Missile's skin come a little bit back to health, and the rings under his eyes fade slightly, but his cough doesn't seem to go anywhere, and he still looks sick to you.
Well, maybe some rest will help.
I'm hoping that our friend Darrington takes that letter to the library soon. I'm sure there's a book on whatever cold illnesses one could acquire that I could research and perhaps cure myself.
Sure. When did this start?
Oh, sometime not too long into our journey in the Lurkwood, I believe. It's probably nothing. Just a common cold. And it will be an opportunity to prove to our friend Vosner the healing properties of books.
As you're talking about your illness, Darrington comes by and goes, "It's probably the pinecone cough. That's what they call it. If you're around trees too long, you'll get it."
See, our friend Darrington is the resident expert. Surely that's all it is. Thank you, Darrington.
Of course, what you need is a couple of weeks in a good cave.
Vosner looks very suspicious. He's like, trees don't make people cough.
So tell that to your friend there. He's got the pinecone cough bad, I can tell.
Maybe. But I've lived with trees for all of my life. No coughs.
You probably got yourself a resistance to it. You know, that's how germs work.
Oh, you don't say.
And he says, well, good night to you all. I gotta get back to my business here, but I'll be here tomorrow to check on you, see how you're doing.
Good night.
Before you go, Master Darrington, I intend to make a trip to the library tomorrow with the hope of admission, so if you could try to get that letter there sometime between now and the morning, I'd very much appreciate it.
I'm on my way. I'll drop it off, but I can't promise you anything. Best to wait till I tell you what happened tomorrow.
Fair enough, fair enough. Fair enough, thank you.
And if you come in coughing like that, they'll put you in a cave for 3 weeks till that pine cone goes away. He just waves his hand and walks out of the bar. And if you guys want to end it there, we can. I have a bunch of other stuff planned, but it's a little late to get into anything else.
Yeah. I guess we'll all go to our respective quarters. Did we want to end it like the next morning? Is there night stuff to be done?
Yeah, I guess we can start by... No, we'll end it here, and then we'll do anything that happens at night and then in the morning. for next session.
Okay.
Cool,
Sounds good.
Note of that.
cool.
Nice.